baseball world. They won the division championship. Buck and the Birds brought the American League East crown back to Baltimore. It was an exciting year for the Birds and their fans, and now what in 2015? It all starts right here in Sarasota. All season long, you'll find the O's right here on Massive. The Orioles are back, the 2015 edition, and our broadcast season begins tonight. It's the Blue Jays and the Orioles, and the O's are back on Massive. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome. Great to have you with us. Here's the deal for tonight. You take the shovel, you take the broom, you put it on the porch, you close the door, you lock it. You go into the living room, you pull all the shades down so you can't see the snowbanks. You turn on the overhead light, pretend it's the sun, and then you sit down with a lemonade and get ready to watch some baseball. We're glad to bring you a little bit of that. Maybe a night game, beautiful here. We know the struggles that you're going through there in the Baltimore area. Wow, what a winter it has been. For the Orioles, what a season it was. When you win, the expectations build up. Here's why there are expectations for the Orioles this season. Last year, 96 wins, second best in the American League. Year before that, 85, they had a tremendous season, even though tied for 8th. 2012, of course, 93 wins, tied for 3rd. That brings a total over the last 3 years, 274 wins, second best in the American League. Jim Palmer, great to be back with you, and when you do that, fans want more.
Well, they really do, and Buck does his motivational film. This year he let the players talk about what really has transpired over the last 3 years. Adam Jones said, we're a grinded-out team. Matt Wieters said, this is a team of we. Darren O'Day, a veteran reliever, said, you know what, it's about trust. It's about a 40-man roster. So, again, and J.J. Hardy said, people that used to like to come to Baltimore to play the Orioles don't like to do it anymore. So the grind does start, and I mean not the grind because they enjoy it when you're winning, but grinding it out. That's what the season's about. They did it all last year. They ran into the Royals. 4 straight games they lose, total of 6 runs. They're going to put that out of their mind and concentrate on 2015.
And Oriole fans, you're going to see a starting lineup today for the Orioles that may very well be one you'll see on opening day. And for this young fan, all she can say is, let's go O's. There's so much to see and do in the beaches and islands of Sarasota on Florida's Gulf Coast. Go beyond the stadium to Siesta Beach, named winner of the 2015 TripAdvisor Traveler's Choice Awards for beaches. Plan now at visitsarasota.org. That's where we are. Full house expected here tonight as we get set for baseball against Toronto, a team obviously the Orioles will see a lot of again this season. Last year, tough series against these Jays. The Orioles won at 11 games to 8, even though they were out hit on the average side. They out-homered them 24-16, runs per game, pretty darn close. Orioles just enough of an edge to take the series, and a pretty good ERA, especially against that Toronto lineup at 3.39. O's will look to do that or better against the Jays this year. Orioles trying to make it 2 in 1 day as the split squad games were played today. The Orioles won the afternoon game. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. They go after Toronto here in this game tonight to see the house settling in on a beautiful evening here in Sarasota. Carrera's got a chance to be in this ball club. He'll be in the starting lineup leading off. Devin Travis has got an opportunity. So does Pompey. Visaedo could be a backup. Smoke, they hope to have that big bat in the lineup a lot. Former Oriole Danny Valencia, Chris Dickerson, Macier Asturias, Josh Toll. Those are the 9 going tonight. Asturias, those numbers last year, 39 home runs, 334 RBIs for Macier Asturias.
So take a look at Miguel Gonzalez and Mr. Consistency last year, 10-9 with the lowest earned run average of any of the Orioles starters. 23 out of his 26 starts, 3 runs or less. Another battle. They have 6 starters. They will kind of over the course of the next five weeks from now, they'll start in Tampa Bay, decide who are they going to be those 5 starters, even only they probably really use a full staff till all the way into June. And then we'll talk about this Cinderella story, with the Angels, with the Red Sox out of the Mexican League. And he has pitched very well for the Orioles. 4-pitch pitcher, fastball, curveball, splitter, changeup, and probably the only thing, Gary, that maybe works against him, even though as good as he's been, is that they think that he can be very comfortable pitching out of the bullpen. So we will see how it all comes out here in the month of March.
Yeah, he and Kevin Gausman for Buck Showalter both have that ability to work out of the bullpen. They've shown it before. We'll see whether or not one or both or neither ends up in that starting rotation. Great to have you with us. Baseball back. Know how excited fans are about it. Looking forward to this season for the Orioles after the great year that they had last year. And for Gonzalez, his first action on the mound, off-speed delivery to Ezekiel Carrera, who's got an opportunity to be in this ball club. He was with Detroit. There are the numbers last season. He is a 27-year-old out of Venezuela. And that one will be foul back.
Yeah, you're always looking for speed. And with Carrera, he tried to steal bases 56 times last year, 43 successful. There's the skipper, John Gibbons, his second tour of duty as a manager of Toronto.
That'll be taken up high. Talking with John about Carrera before tonight, he said, we're going to take a long look at him. We really think he could be an impact player for us, and whether or not that comes off the bench or not, we'll see. Gonzalez will miss outside, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count from the Oriole, who was 10-9 last year. All but one of his appearances as a starter. He had 27 appearances. 26 of those came in a starting role, and a great job done for the Orioles. And he'll go up high and get the strikeout. Nice way to start.
Yeah, well, what you like about it is that he went to 92, so 89 to 92. Again, you have a young hitter. It is spring training. Just go up the ladder, and he's able to do that and get the strikeout.
Good pitch. Lavarnway working behind the plate for the Orioles in the ball game tonight. As I said at the top, behind Gonzalez tonight with Lavarnway, whether or not he will be on the ball club and working behind the plate in question. But the other position players tonight are all expected to be on the ball club, and in fact could be in the starting lineup. There is Matt Wieters, who whether or not he catches opening day or not's in question, but certainly will be in the ball club and in the lineup DHing if he is not behind the plate. And the pitch taken away. Falling behind here on Travis. Travis has got a shot to make this ball club as well. You're getting to see a couple of players tonight that Toronto's taking a look at. They've got a hole at second base that needs to be filled. And John Gibbons said before the game tonight that Travis has got an opportunity to take that spot. If he can earn it, it's his.
Well, Torres is playing shortstop, but Jose Reyes will be their regular shortstop. And so Torres can play second. Ryan Goins has really struggled with the bat, 188.
That'll go towards second base. Good jam shot on that by Gonzalez. Jonathan Scope makes the play, and there are 2 down.
I'll take a look at the Oriole defense here in Sarasota. Pierce, Jones, Young. And then you have Machado coming off the knee injury. A couple of years ago won the Platinum Gold Glove. That's the best of all the Gold Glovers. Hardy with 3 Gold Gloves. Scope played magnificently at second base last year. Chris Davis over at first. And as you mentioned, Ryan Lavarnway. And there he is, man. He did make an error on his first, but he really ranged far to his left and just dropped the elbow and threw one away, but tremendous range on a couple of plays yesterday.
And he made one of those great plays in foul territory yesterday, which had the crowd on their feet. Pitch taken by Pompey. Pompey is going to be on this ball club. Could be a starter in the outfield, center or left for Toronto. Gonzalez will come back inside to him. Pompey is an exciting player, explosive player for this ball club.
Yeah, it came up in September, and of course John Gibbons with Kevin Pillar, they kind of actually switched around from center to left during the game yesterday. Both of them are center fielders. There's a good split-fingered fastball. Well, you look at third basemen in the American League East. You're going to have Headley in New York. You're going to have Sandoval, who can pick it over with the Red Sox. Over here, it's going to be Josh Donaldson, who they acquired from Oakland. Then you go down and you got Longoria with Tampa, and then you got Manny Machado.
Big time third baseman.
Yeah.
I mean, both defensively and offensively around the division. We'll talk about the division as we go, but obviously for the Orioles, having Machado back is so important. The Orioles are counting on Machado. The return, of course, of Wieters back into the lineup on a regular basis. Foul back. Gonzalez has had a couple of good jam shots, getting pitches up and in the upper part of that strike zone. Miguel coming into the season at the age of 30. He will be 31 at the end of May. 2.79 in his final 11 starts of the season. He finished up very strong, particularly strong at home last year. 13 starts. He went 7-2 at home. That one he challenged him with down and away and forced the foul ball.
Well, we're going to show you what the Orioles were able to do from June on last year as far as the pitching staff. Finished third in the American League in ERA, but he was a big part of that. 6-4 with a 2.19 ERA over his last 10 decisions.
As you said, Jim, consistency out of Miguel Gonzalez. Pompey waiting on it. He'll put the air to that one, and it'll go to shallow left. And a nice sliding catch. Steve Pearce, who's looking for a job in the outfield, left, right, or anywhere else as far as he's concerned. We'll take a look at the Orioles lineup. Look at that. The temperatures in the mid-70s up to the mid-80s during the day, and that beautiful full moon in the clear sky and virtually no wind tonight for our ball game. For the Orioles, it'll be Machado, Hardy, and Jones, Young, Davis, and Wieters, Pierce, Lavarnway, Jonathan Scope last year for the Oriole leader. Adam Jones with the 29 homers, 96 driven in.
And that lineup gets to face Daniel Norris. Again, premier prospect, number second round. Up the ladder last year, A-ball 6-0. Went to Double-A 3-1, Triple-A 3-1. Pitched a little bit at the big leagues. Free Spirits got a 1978 Westphalia Volkswagen camper type van with the expandable top, surfboard in it, surfs. But he's got good stuff, and look at that numbers, 12-2.
And he's got a real shot to make the starting rotation this year. Orioles will lead it off with Manny Machado at the plate. That number one spot in the lineup that had been held by Nick Markakis for virtually every game last season. Now open. Foul back. Buck Showalter doesn't like to make a lot of that. He says, how many times does a leadoff guy actually bat leadoff? And he is right about that. So that spot, as to who's going to fill that, will it be rotated? Will it be one person? That remains to be seen and will be worked out as we get into the year.
Well, they'd went out and free agent Everth Cabrera, switch hitter. And of course, I think if you look at all the positions here, that's assuming that Wieters gets healthy. And the word is that he's well ahead of what they expected throwing wise. You know, he's going to be the DH tonight. The one battle will be second base.
Mm-hmm.
And so Cabrera certainly with, speed, something the Orioles lack. And we know how good a second-place hitter Manny is because he can hit the ball all over the field, but especially behind the runner to right field.
Manny happy to be in a lineup here in a spring training game. Second straight year. Spring training injury cut him down last year. That ball's going to be a base hit into left field. He got one inside. Carrera over to get it. He'll make the turn. Make that turn slowly, Manny. And the throw will come in, and he leads it off with a base hit.
Yeah, let's take a look at the Jays' defense, not the one you're going to see when the season starts. Carrera, Pompey, Dickerson. We saw Chris play for the Orioles a couple of years ago. Danny Valencia, your former Oriole, is tourist. Travis Smoke, Justin Smoke comes out of Texas, Seattle, and then Toll, who will do most of his catching when R.A. Dickey, the knuckleballer, pitches. He came over from the Mets along with R.A. Dickey.
And here is J.J., one of the Oriole leaders, of course, and we talk about steady ball players, none more so than what Hardy has been for the Orioles. Another outstanding year last season, and looked to by members of his ball club for leadership, especially those in the infield and the youngsters looking to play infield in the minors. He almost becomes a coach to them.
Well, you look at last year when Machado went down, so all of a sudden you have a rookie Jonathan Scope playing second. Flaherty could play it all around, third, occasional shortstop when Hardy had the back spasms. But again, I mean, he's the guy that you kind of look to. 3 straight Gold Gloves at shortstop.
And you see the nice little chin music going on there. He thinks he's going to keep that for the season. He said, that's the way I played when I was in a couple of other major league cities. I had that chin music for the whole season. He said, I like it. And I said, you're going to keep that for the year? And he said, yeah, I think so. Put that one up in the air. Broken bat. Halfway, Machado will go back. Hardy is retired. Vera coming in to haul that one in. The JJ's out of there, one away.
Boy, I tell you what, that is a tough read for a left fielder. You get the big swing, he hits it off the end of the bat, and Carrera never missed a stride. What's kind of what you're talking about, always looking for people that can steal bases and are good defensive players.
Michael Saunders injured, who's going to be their left fielder. He may be back for opening day, John Gibbons said tonight. So that will determine how many outfielders there are. Here is Adam Jones, who will certainly be there opening day in center field for the Orioles. Manny Machado at first and one down. Left-hander, good move to first base. Norris will deliver it down low for a ball.
Now you can see from the radar gun, I mean, that's certainly not the yardstick or the guideline for pitchers, but you like his arm. 91, 95. Talking to their minor league coordinator, Rick Langford, he said not only that, he has great life. And he's a very good, good hitter coming up, very athletic.
And wants to learn and wants to be good. He's a very mild-mannered young man, according to John Gibbons and others who are around the ball club. Clayton Kershaw is his idol, and he had elbow chips taken out at the end of last year. He pitched through it with pain at the end of the season. Didn't tell anybody about it. 1-0 delivery on the way. Breaking ball. It's going to miss inside. Adam held up on it.
Yeah, we saw him in September at Camden Yards. And you kind of made a good point there because it didn't look like he had the kind of velocity he has tonight. John Gibbons introduced me to him, so he did get the chips out. And he said it was very minor procedure, but he said it would just press on the nerve. And then
2-0 delivery on the way. Adam goes after one. That'll be fouled away. We'll see how the pitchers approach Adam Jones this season. Towards the end of last year, and Adam said so himself, he was back to chasing probably too many of those breaking balls outside and in the dirt. But as he says, I am paid to drive in runs and to hit the long ball. I'll take some chances on those once in a while.
Well, nobody in the American League swung at the first pitch more than Adam Jones. So he is aggressive. It works. Average down, 4 points from his normal 285.
And a great breaking ball right there. That was an off-speed pitch.
I think that was a changeup, Gary. And so, again, if you're going to throw 95 and with movement, which we've seen, and then you pull the string in a fastball count, that's what 2-1 is. Might have even been a little curveball. That's going to get the Orioles' attention.
It's a good one. I mean, the way John Gibbons talked tonight to me, he's not going to make any decisions right now, but this is his fifth guy in the rotation. 2-2 delivery on the way. He went for it. Just missed. That'll be fouled by Adam Jones. Scott Coolbaugh is the new hitting instructor who will be working with Adam, coming on board with the Orioles after being with the Texas Rangers. He was their minor league hitting coordinator last year, 8 seasons. Texas organization, including the seasons 2011 and 12 when he was the hitting coach at the major league level for Texas.
Yeah, well acquainted with Chris Davis. And, of course, if the Orioles are going to do what they did last year, which is lead the American League in home runs, they'd like to have that relationship reach fruition. I remember talking to him when he was with the Rangers, and of course, Chris came at the end of 2011. He said he was the best young hitter, and we're going to see Justin Smoke, who was also in the organization. I said, why? He said, because he hits the ball the other way. Mm-hmm. And when Chris Davis is hitting well, what does he do?
Go the other way.
Yep.
And he showed a willingness to do that towards the end of the year. That one's going to miss inside, so Adam refused to chase. He'll get the walk. The Orioles here in the first inning, 2 on and 1 down. Opening day is not that far away, just 5 weeks. Get ready now for the upcoming season. You can secure your spot with an Orioles full or partial season plan. Season plan members get the exclusive ticket savings, Major League Baseball's most flexible exchange policy, and guaranteed access to postseason tickets, plus the orange carpet benefits. Don't miss it. Visit Orioles.com/tickets or call 888-848-BIRD. And the pitch will be taken down low. Here is Delman Young. Delman, one of those whose position on the ball club to be determined, signed to a 1-year deal. He's been making appearances in the outfield. He's playing right field tonight. Last year, of course, primarily used as a DH.
And we saw him play the outfield. He made some spectacular plays on occasion. I think the one thing that I still amazed at, when you get to pinch hit 20 times and you come up with 10 hits, when you're sitting on a bench, they got him because he hit lefties. The fact that he was a good pinch hitter, he was good in the postseason. Go to Game 2 against the Tigers, down by a couple of runs, a couple bases loaded, double down into the corner to give the Orioles a lead. They go on to win the game.
1-1, good fastball in the outside corner. He's a gamer. He's very tough. He came to the Orioles with some handles regarding his outfield abilities, but for the Orioles, as Jim said, we saw him make some outstanding plays. He's not a Gold Glove outfielder. He's not going to be. But as an everyday outfielder, that's one of the questions the Orioles may answer this season. Another one of those off-speed pitches.
Well, this is the first time I've seen Daniel Norris pitch when he's healthy, because we did see him that one inning. But again, he reminds me already of Danny Duffy of the Royals. And Duffy was, again, a high draft choice. When you're throwing 95, this curveball is going to work, because you with 2 strikes, you got to gear up for it, and then that's about as good a curveball. And that's as you mentioned, a Clayton Kershaw breaking ball.
Great pitch. Well, there's Chris Davis. The Orioles, we were talking about people the Orioles are counting on to come back, with Machado and Wieters literally coming back with injuries. Chris Davis will come back after the suspension. He'll miss the opening game, of course, which will be against the Rays, as the Orioles will play 3 in Tampa Bay to start the season. Chris has one more game to serve on his suspension, and then we'll be ready for the full season. And where will he play? Will it be at first base? Will it be first base and some outfield? Will it be first base, outfield, and some DH?
And then when you go to 16, 17 inches, he can always pitch for you.
Yes, and pitch well.
Yeah.
Buck Showalter's going to have a ball club he's really going to have to maneuver with. Not that he hasn't done that before, but positionally, in order to keep players active, which he so wants to do, there'll be some moving around for the Orioles in the outfield and the DH role. Strike taken on the outside corner. Norris 2 on, 2 down.
Yeah, all you got to do is go back to last season when Matt Wieters played in, he got 101 at bats. Manny Machado missed all spring training, 153 at bats. They were lost for the year. Still ended up winning 96 games.
Davis, swing and a miss. Boy, for a first outing here, which it is for Norris, the location here in the first inning on his pitches is extraordinary.
Well, Gary, when he's in trouble, 2 outs. I mean, he had runners at first and second with only 1 out. But when you have this kind of stuff with the breaking ball and the fastball with movement and velocity, I'm not sure you're ever really in trouble unless you make a bad pitch or somebody gets on it.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way, and that's the outside corner. Another one well located. So the Orioles will leave a couple, no runs on 1 hit, no errors. 2 are left on base. Spring training, Sarasota. Great to have you with us. No score. American League East opponent, of course, in Toronto last season. The Orioles winning it by a big 12 games over the Yankees. The Jays 13 out. The Rays 19. Red Sox 25 this season. Probably in American League East again. It's not going to be as strong as it's been in past years and decades. Everybody seems to have a hole somewhere and looking for some help.
Well, everybody is saying, I mean, when I'm talking about the, they say the experts are the Red Sox are going to be 1, Jays are 2, Orioles are 3, and then you can go down. Rays and the Yankees will either be 4th and 5th. And now we're not seeing. I mean, you talked about Michael Saunders hurting his knee, just stepped on a sprinkler. They go out and get Viciedo, who's now hitting. So again, I tell John Gibbons, who's managing this Jays club, I said, they keep getting really good players. And he just laughs at me. Yeah, he does. And, they go out and get Josh Donaldson. If you go back and look at wins over replacement or against replacement, only one player the last 2 years. Mike Trout has a better one, so he's going to play third. They went out and got Russell Martin. He's going to do a great job behind the plate. But the key for them is to stay healthy.
And for everybody.
Yeah, well, that's true.
There they are. You got Donaldson, Martin, Estrada, Saunders, big additions to the team. Laurie, of course, kind of a surprise he's gone. They really hoped he was going to be third for a long time. Adam Lynn, J.A. Happ are gone. But I don't think there's any question, if you look at it realistically, they've helped themselves a good deal with what they did in the offseason.
They really have. And, of course, if you ask John Gibbons, the skipper, he says, we don't know who's going to close yet. But it could be Brett
does.
Cecil. Yeah, well, I mean, he's saying it could be Brett Cecil. I mean, if you look at what they did down in Tampa Bay, they went to the hard-throwing lefty Jake McGee. So they have some options. Aaron Sanchez, we saw him at the end of last year, hard-throwing right-hander. So they have some options.
Viciedo's the designated hitter in this ball game. Diving stop. Jonathan Scope, I want second. Gets the out.
Well, I don't think the defense is any problem. And what impresses me, number one, I mean, you have to, he's a big man, 230 pounds, great jump, but just watch this. Now, this is 3-1 fastball. That's what Viciedo hits. This is a base hit, takes away, look at him take his time. One of the strongest arms in the infield that you will ever see. Boy, but I like just the patience. Didn't hurry it one bit, you get the out.
Very smart. No question about the talent. The bat, as Jim said, is what the Orioles are looking for at second base. Here's Justin Smoke. That's what he does when he hits it well. He didn't that time. Hardy shifted over that way, is out of there. Another good jam shot. Gonzalez has put some really tough pitches in on the hands of these left-handed batters.
Well, I asked him, I said, how many innings? He said, well, I think one. I said, well, why don't you be really efficient and pitch two? And that's what he's doing. But we talked about scouting report, Cinderella story. The Orioles went to the Mexican League. Fred Ferrer, before he worked for the Orioles, saw in Mazatlan Miguel Gonzalez pitch. He faced 3 batters, 9 pitches. He comes to work for Dan Duquette and the Orioles. The next thing you know, they sign Miguel. He goes to the minor leagues. I talked to Ron Johnson, AAA manager down in Norfolk. We said we kept bringing him in with the bases loaded, and he kept getting out of trouble.
He can do that.
Yeah.
He does that extremely well. And has shown he can do it on the road, as Buck Showalter loves to use him at Yankee Stadium because he just doesn't seem to react there. Fouled away by Danny Valencia, former Oriole, who's getting the start at third base in Donaldson's spot here in this ball game. Talked about Gonzalez and his effectiveness. The right-handers last year, 249. The left-handers only 10 points higher at 259. We were talking about his ability to get out both right and left-handers. He did last year. Breaking ball that's going to miss down, and a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
You know, when you look at him, Gary, the big thing is, does he get his left shoulder square to home plate? When he does, he can go to both sides of the plate. Slider goes from strike to ball instead of just out of his hand. And you can see right there, he knows Valencia is a real good fastball hitter. I mean, the world knows that. I mean, Danny did a nice job last year. He played for Kansas City, for the Orioles a couple of years ago. Wore out left-handers. Not a bad defensive player either.
Nope. Great guy to have on your roster, even if he's not with a big league club. He had to chase that one and will foul it back and out of play. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Danny Valencia.
And you could get him.
Yeah.
I told him, does John Gibbons know that Miguel Gonzalez is right-handers? Because you don't hit right-handers. I said, I think they made a lineup change. And I thought he was going to run in and check the lineup. Out of Miami.
He's a great teammate.
Yeah, he really is.
Oriole players really liked having him around. 2-2 delivery on the way. Another off speed, another jam shot. Yeah. Valencia fighting that one off and out of play as Gonzalez looking sharp here, making his debut. The Orioles trying to keep all of their pitchers, especially their starters, down on a limited pitch count, limited innings pitched here at the beginning of spring training. As Buck Showalter said, we've got to extend our pitchers for the season and not worry about here in spring training. So it's a real walking the tightrope for the Orioles on these starters. They do not want injuries, obviously, to impact the ball club. They know the importance of the starters, and Dave Wallace maps all of that out. Yeah. Any question about pitchers, Buck says, see Dave.
And that's why, you get somebody up in your bullpen. If the pitch count, even in the middle of the inning, gets too high, they come get him.
Yep. That one will be wrapped as he hung it, and a base hit.
Well, that's what good hitting's about. Miguel certainly didn't want to make that pitch, but again, a lot of times you figure, okay, I really haven't gotten the ball where I was. What is Valencia trying to do? Trying to battle away, and then he gets the pitch he can handle, which is a fastball up. Great high ball hitter.
Good at bat, tough at bat, and the Orioles will get bullpen action going. We're going to see a number of pitches. Prado in the bullpen warming up right now. As the Orioles will send a number of pitches out there. Brad Brock is expected to go. Brian Mattis is expected to go in the ball game tonight, and obviously there will be others. That is foul back. But 2 down, runner on at first base, no score. Here in Sarasota, here's another face familiar to Oriole fans. Chris Dickerson, last season with the Indians, hit .224, a couple of home runs, and 6 RBIs. This is true now in all spring training games virtually up and down the ladder, especially the ones through the first half of spring training. You get very few starters who end up going on the road with ball clubs. It's been kind of an argumentative point in Major League's front office as they look to draw fans here with the money that's made from these packed houses, but most ball clubs very reluctant to take their starters on the road, especially early. They want them to stay home, get their work in, but not have to travel. 0-2 count, 2 down. Good lead at first base. Pitch will catch the outside corner for a strike. Gonzalez a solid 2 innings. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on base. Bottom of the second coming up, and no score. Buck Showalter, Manager of the Year, 3rd one that he has won, returning, moaning about the fact I mentioned it already. Hey, congratulations. That's a nice award.
Let's talk some baseball.
Okay.
It's a great organizational award. Nobody ever wins it 2 years in a row because you can't surprise anybody 2 times. They give it to the team that surprises the most.
Well, I have one question. You do it every 10 years.
Trust me, you don't have to worry about 10 more.
Well, 94, 204, 214.
It ain't happening in 24, Jimmy.
We'll catch you on the ranch.
Yeah.
Buck, we were talking about what you're going to do with the outfield DH thing this year. Do you see positions being moved around a lot this season in that regard?
Well, I think so. Not as long as it fits within everybody's skill set. We've got some very versatile players that we want to take advantage of keeping people healthy, especially in the DH spot. They can play left, right, and play first base and play corners. And, that's kind of who we are. We're looking at those type of guys that it helps us keep everybody healthy. I don't know if for instance, there wasn't a more important pitcher on our staff than T.J. McFarland last year because he made our bullpen stay intact physically. It's so big when you're up 12-0 or down 12-0 to be able to pitch those innings. And those are little things that give you longevity and consistency over a season.
How about the guy that's at the plate now, Matt Wieters?
We're not talking about him.
I know. I don't mean his arm. I'm just
you.
talking. So you're going to DH him until they take the governor's off as far as his throwing?
17th. The other day, I did sneak back there and watch him throw, and I looked at him as I walked away. I said, 17th? If you didn't know better, you wouldn't think there was any problem. We got some B games coming up and some that we'll catch him in, and just they can run all they want to. So the last problem we're going to have is Matt's legs. He's going to get plenty of catching time. And so he'll be DHing as often as possible.
Is he behind the plate on opening day?
Well, if we follow the path that we're on right now, yes. There's been no setbacks. If anything, he's a model rehab guy, and, Matt wants to be there for everybody so much. So if it's delayed a little bit, but stay in there. But
is Turris?
I think he's got a chance to be there, Gary.
Okay.
The team, you come in 2011 and all of a sudden 93, 85, 96. I think everybody that I've talked to, Mike Bordick, does the games that I don't do, said that, we've lost some players, but he's never seen the talent level better collectively with your young players and arms and all that. Is that something in the last 3 years that I know obviously you've tried to do it, but do you really, I mean, are you on board with Bordy when it comes to that?
Yeah, Bordy, obviously Bordy's season as much, if not more than I do. We just got through playing it. We've had, this is our third game today. We played a B game this morning. We played over in Tampa, and we're back here. 27 innings of Orioles baseball. Doesn't get much better than that. But, I got to see Zach Davies pitch. I got to see, of course, Tyler Wilson. Boy, very impressive. The Rule 5 draft, Jason Garcia. The whole group chin through the ball well. And there's more on the way, but we have to do that. And one of the most important dates we got coming up, Jim, is we got 5 picks in our first 100 picks. And, there's some good decisions made before we got here. And Dan and Gary Racich in our farm system have carried it on. And we've got to hit on those people. We've got to continue to provide depth for the organization. But Bordy's right. There's a different, level of, it's pretty deep in there. I start looking at the board, and sometimes, usually this time of year, you can say, well, we can go ahead and send this guy out. We're not there yet. It's tough.
Do you think you have any of those 5 draft choices that throw like Norris on the mound? This guy's got a nice little arm.
As a matter of fact, we do. We got a couple in camp right now that wear our uniform, came through our system. They ain't the only people who got somebody.
Skipper, thanks.
All right, guys. Thanks
Appreciate
for having me. They're making a pitching change just in time for y'all.
Beautiful. Commercial break. That will be it for the starter. As we said, all the ball clubs holding their starters to a pretty specific pitch count. And for Daniel Norris, really beginning exactly the way they hoped it would. No score.
Shopping.
In baseball this season, that's the countdown clock, which will be used all year long. There'll be 2 of those in every ballpark. Pace of game, of course, is what's been talked about. The managers have got to stay in the dugout during challenges now. The hitters have got to keep 1 foot in the box during at bat, and play must start quickly after TV breaks. And right now, that's what the clock you were looking at is all about. The timer, as soon as the pitching change is announced, will go to 2:25 if the ball game is locally televised, and 2:45 for nationally televised games. So there's a clock in the outfield, then you see the one behind home plate. So the pitcher knows how much time he's got to get ready, and the new pitcher is ready.
Yeah, last year you can see Triple A started his career out of Venezuela with the White Sox. So wait a minute, in the old days, if you didn't throw the ball in time, it was a ball.
Yep.
Now it's a
fine.
So that's like eating a New York Sterling without your dentures?
That's why it won't be effective.
Yes.
A fine, $500 fine for a major league player? Who cares? I mean, I think David Ortiz, I think we were talking about it the other day, right? He's just going to write a check, hand it to the first home plate umpire he sees and say, don't bother me.
Well, no, he's going to actually, before he even gets to the plate.
Before he gets to the box. He's just going to give him the check when he walks up.
Well, he did make a good point, because you do have to keep 1 foot in there. He said, I walk around actually trying to think up there.
Hitters can't do that.
No thinking allowed for hitters.
That's right. Ryan LaVarnway is doing the catching for the Orioles. We'll take the pitch up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike, no score, 2 down here. I looked to see what the length of games have been. The average game has gone up each year since 2010. all-time high, 3 hours, 8 minutes, was last year, even though the average runs per game reached their lowest point since 1981. So games are taking longer. There's less going on, and that's why Major League Baseball is concerned about pace of game.
Yeah, I think one of the poster childs was a guy that had a terrific year, and that was Bud Norris for the Orioles. I mean, somebody blogged 4 innings, 2 hours and 4 minutes of looking at his spikes, thinking between pitches. So
that's a base hit into left field. So Lavarnway is on with a single in his first at bat.
Well, the Orioles know about him because he came out of the Red Sox organization. Actually, in 2011, the Orioles would beat the Red Sox the last day of the year, but he had a couple of home runs the night before. So he was always a guy that was, coming through the minor leagues, 30 home runs at AAA Pawtucket, and then maybe the numbers weren't as good, but if you're in that organization, we'll see what kind of defensive, because you're going to play for Buck Showalter. We saw this with Caleb Joseph last year. You have to be able to be a good defensive catcher.
Yep. So a runner on, Orioles pick up their second hit. There have only been 3 in the ball game so far, and fouled off. Here's Jonathan Scope. He really wants to be impressive at the plate. Jim said there's no question about his defensive abilities. So at 209 average, like to get that up, on base percentage up. You've got to believe with the Orioles' loss in the numbers that they had from Cruz and Markakis and home runs and RBIs and runs, that on base percentage will matter more than ever this year, because they'll be hard pressed unless Chris Davis and Matt Wieters really have spectacular power seasons to match the home run numbers.
Well, it looked like Toronto before the Encarnacion injury, because he had 27 home runs in his first 88 games, and then the quad injury, that they were probably going to hit as many or more home runs than the Orioles last year. But even with him missing a bunch of games, and then Lowry being injured and Lynn getting hurt with a broken foot, they still scored more runs per game because their on-base percentage was higher.
Yep.
Jose Bautista, his on-base percentage was over 40% of the time, which is off the chart.
The Orioles are going to need some of that this season, scoring runs. Got jammed. It'll be fouled back. The Orioles led the majors last year. They hit 211 home runs, 25 more than Colorado did. And the Orioles now have gone 3 straight seasons where they've had 200 or more home runs. Buck Showalter's ball club, led by Adam Jones, who's become the first outfielder in the Orioles history to have 4 straight years with 25 or more. So they've really lived and died with a home run in these past seasons. Foul back, and now can you replace the numbers that have been lost in this home run department? You don't have to hit home runs to score, obviously, but you see 26 and 1, 3 or more. Nelson with 40. Now with Seattle, 4 players with 20 or more: Cruz, Jones, Davis, and Pierce.
Yeah, and then Wieters usually, when he's healthy, hits 20 or more. Machado, he hasn't done yet, but certainly capable of hitting 18 to 20.
Had to reach for that outside of third base, headed over to the seats and out of play.
Well, you mentioned it, and Jonathan Scope, because of injuries, whatever, kind of rushed to the big leagues last year. A lot of people didn't think he'd make the club coming out of spring training. But Scott Coolbaugh, what he was saying is, just imagine a windshield wiper. Really quick back and forth. You'd like to be a little bit more, I think, rhythmic. Another hands go back, foot gets down, and that's something that, hopefully Jonathan, because he's got tremendous strength, but he does strike out too much, doesn't walk enough, at least this point in his career, but he's only 23.
Yep. And that's a big key in having, as you said, to develop at the major league level. 2-2 delivery runner at first base. Jam shot again will be fouled back.
But the other things is that your pitching staff has its best year, since 1997. The last year the Orioles won a division. And he was a big part of it, because nobody, he turns, I'm not that he's better than, but nobody was better than him turning the double play. And with Machado out, he could play right field, short right field, and the prevent defense they put on.
2-2 delivery on the way to him. Breaking ball. He got out in front of that one, too, and lashes that one foul. Lavarnway on at first base. We'll head back here. No score. Lavarnway on with a base hit. The Orioles have 2. 1 from Machado in the first, and 1 here from Lavarnway. And now Scope batting in the 9 spot, trying to get him moved around. Won't be helped by the wind. In most spring training games in Florida, there's wind, and it blows hard and usually out to left field in this ballpark. Tonight, night game, almost still. Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way, and another one that he'll foul back into the screen, hold the count.
Yeah, the Orioles lost 5-4 to the Tigers, 15-2 in the first game, but Castellanos, his home run yesterday that Piazza hit off the top of his glove was wind blown. And that's the way the spring is. Saw Jade Fox, he's on the bench. He had 10 one year when he was an Oriole. Steve Pearce a couple of years ago hit 10 or 11. Big, strong guys. They hit fly balls, and if you hit them to left field here, they usually go.
That's why one of the adages in baseball is don't be fooled by home runs in spring training. Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way. Had to reach, protects, though, and fouls that one back again. So Scope forcing the reliever Infante to work.
Yeah, he's got pretty good stuff. He just hasn't, everything's up. That's what happens sometimes when, you can't make your pitches. But 95 with a breaking ball, but he hasn't been able to get that down in the zone. I mean, this is the perfect time to just throw a breaking ball, but to throw it out of the zone.
LeVarn Way very short lead at first base. Infield swung around to pull. Outfield actually playing him a bit to right field. Here's the 2-2 delivery to him, and that just missed. Infante last year played for AA New Hampshire, AAA in Buffalo, where his season was spent. He had been with the White Sox and the Dodgers previously, signed by the Jays in December of 2013, appeared in only 39 ball games in the course of last season. 3-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way, and got him. He'll get the strikeout. That's the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. We'll watch the clock tick down to 22, 21, 20.
It's time to command track.
As we go to the third inning, Brian Mattis will be on. Before we get to him, Scott Coolbaugh, we said, is the new hitting coach for the Orioles, named as such in December. Last 8 years with Texas, minor league hitting coordinator with the Rangers last season. Also had been the hitting coach in 2011-2012. Scott, great to have you with us. Welcome to the Orioles from all of us in the broadcast booth.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
You got a little help finding the camera there?
Oh, yeah.
Don't ever believe him, though. Yeah. Because he'll mislead you. You know that. He'll point you in the wrong direction.
Yeah, old curve.
Tell us how it came about. You ended up in this position here, I'm sure, with discussions with Buck, first of all.
Well, I was pleasantly surprised, obviously. I didn't think anything was going on over here, and then unfortunately the opening happened, and got a call of the blue and asked if I was interested in an interview, and took advantage of that situation, had a great conversation with Buck and Brady Anderson in Dallas, and then it kind of went from there. So it happened pretty quick, but I'm very humbled for the opportunity, looking forward to it.
How do you get to know the Oriole hitters? A lot of film work coming into spring training?
Yeah, I try to do a lot of film work. I'm big on that. I try to find the keys to each hitter. Just get to know them on a personal level, see what their thoughts are when they go to the plate, what their plan and their approach is, things like that.
How much opposite field work with this ball club do you think you'll be doing?
Well, I do a lot of stuff with situational hitting, so, part of that is incorporated in the opposite field hitting, especially with men on second, nobody out. So we do a lot of stuff like that. So we'll definitely have a round every day in batting practice that is accordingly to situational hitting.
Is that a little? Obviously, the Orioles are known for hitting home runs. Camden Yards is one of those. I would think most people would say it's a hitter's ballpark. But we see year in year out, if you play for Buck Showalter, you really have to do the little things, the situational hitting you just talked about.
Well, they come into play huge. You're not going to just bang balls around all year long. You're going to have opportunities to hit the 3-run homer, but you have to do the little things. It puts pressure on the defense, puts pressure on the opposing pitcher, and when you can do those things. You create more opportunities, and that's what we're looking for. Last year we were last in the league in opportunities with runners at third, and hopefully we can increase that this year.
Is there a key to that?
Well, I think it's just a mindset. I think it's a mindset of, guys, passing the baton, making sure the pitcher gives you something good to hit. If he doesn't, take the walk. And, we've been talking a little bit about it so far in the spring on an individual basis, and we'll get together here after these guys have some more at-bats to talk about it as a team.
Final question. Some coaches in every type of position and managers have things they focus on that, while you give a lot of freedom to individual hitters, things you want to see them all do. Is there anything in particular that falls into that category for you?
Well, I like, for me, there's one key to start it off. I like to see guys getting ready to hit, get into a good position. That's the first thing in spring training. If they can do that, everything else kind of takes care of itself. So I really watch for the guys' timing early in the spring, see if they're getting in a good position and recognizing the pitch as early as possible.
Scott, we really appreciate it. Look forward to working with you here this season, and best of luck as you take over the job of hitting coach.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
Scott Kuba, the new hitting coach for the Orioles, finding out in a hurry about the players on the ball club. Brian Mattis, the left-hander, comes out of the bullpen. Gonzalez, a couple of innings, only 1 hit, no walks, and a strikeout. Good start for Miguel Gonzalez. Left-handed Brian Mattis, last year, the get-out guy when lefties were in the box.
Yeah, 223, 63 appearances. Really, the spring last year and again this year will be, can you get the right-handers out? And how do you do that? And we saw him as a starting pitcher early in his career, former #1 draft choice out of San Diego University. Home is in Paradise Valley.
Josh Toll's going to get a base hit, even with Pierce pulled in. So the Toronto catcher picks up their second hit, a 1-out single here in the third inning.
Yeah, that's like a bonus. Obviously, spring training, but nothing game. Brian doesn't get it down. He just takes it the other way, and that's how you get base hits with 2 strikes.
For Mattis last season, we talk about lefty-righty against him. The lefties were 223, right-handers at 277. And it certainly looked as though for a good part of the year, Buck was reluctant, Dave Wallace, pitching coach, reluctant to have him in there against the right-handers because the numbers just were not coming around. So that's, as Jim says, what he's got to get to.
Well, they stretched him out. I guess the irony of that is by letting him pitch more in the backfields, the B games, some of the inter-squad games or whatever, some of the minor league games, he actually got to pitch 5-6 innings as a starter last year. And when that happened, what did Zach Britton do? He became a guy that was going to the bullpen. Zach was out of options. He had to be on the ball club, and because there were a lot of other teams waiting.
Yes.
And then he ends up saving 37 out of 41 the games when he becomes the closer.
Carrera at the plate, runner on, leadoff batter will take the pitch away for a ball. Miguel Gonzalez gets his start, first one of the spring, and a real good one. Daddy, how are you?
I'm great.
You look good. How do you feel?
Good, not bad. First time out. It's been a while, so get it out of the way, right?
What a machine you are, strike-throwing machine.
I'll tell you what, I felt like I threw 55 pitches instead of 34.
What have you been told?
Probably Tommy.
Yeah. Miguel, what have you been told about how you're going to be worked here in the spring, how much you'll throw innings or pitches or the development through spring training?
Really, they haven't really told us anything. I mean, we're just going out there as what they tell us, and it's a weekly thing, day by day. So we'll see what Dave and Dom has for us this next outing. Anything in particular you're working on here this spring? Fastball command. That's really important. I mean, everyone tells it, and you'll be hearing it over and over.
Well, you have 3 other pitches, and it's not snowing. We don't want the people in Baltimore thinking it's snowing here.
It's snowing. It's snowing in Florida.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. From your friends.
There we go. Well, that's a good way to cool off after you throw, 34 pitches?
Yeah, 34.
So what do you – so, it's fastball command, but, I've always been a big fan of yours because you know how to pitch. How did you learn that? I mean, did you ever throw harder than 92? Were you ever like a power guy, or you always was a guy that knew how to pitch and use all your pitches?
I'm that type of guy that has to command the ball. Obviously, I'm not a power pitcher. I'm those type of pitchers that you're going to see trying to paint every time you're out there. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect all the time, but for the most part, we're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah.
And you did a great job in that interview. We appreciate it. Out there in the hail, the wind, the snow, or hail, nothing shall deter Miguel Gonzalez for an interview, except Tommy Hunter.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, guys.
All new official legacy book. It's the Baltimore Orioles 60 Years of Orioles Magic. Great behind-the-scenes stories and pictures, and our own Jim Palmer with a special forward for the book. It's available right now, and for those who get full 29-game or 13-game season plans, you'll be able to get it as a gift from the ball club. Visit Orioles.com/book for complete details.
Well, Chad Jenkins comes on. We've seen him over the course of the last couple of years. There are the numbers. Kind of interesting. 21 games there, 21 games at AAA. He was up and down till he broke his hand in September. Got hurt in batting practice down in Tampa Bay 6 times. So,
that's not good.
Yeah, well, but that's the way they do it now. I mean, the Orioles were talking. Again, this is not just a 25-man roster. It's really a 40-man roster, and that's the way the Jays did it with all their injuries.
Manny Machado will lead it off going after the first pitch. He's got another base hit. So Machado, a couple to left field in his 2 at-bats. He has 2 singles. This one leading off the Orioles part of the 3rd inning.
Yeah, unless you make a quality pitch, and this is not, look how smooth the swing is. This is what Scott Coolbaum was talking about. Getting ready to hit. Hands go back. I mean, there's not a whole lot of movement. The bat hardly drops. And again, this is a kid that can, 2 years ago, 50 doubles, 53 doubles, can hit home runs, as good as you can get at third base.
Here is Hardy now. No score in this one. Orioles have picked up 3 hits. We advise all catchers who are involved in these spring training baseball games from the broadcast booths around Major League Baseball. We would appreciate it if when you come out to warm up your pitcher, do not come out at full gear, because then we think you're going to catch. We change our scorebook, and then you go back in the dugout. Hard line drive. Nice play made by Astros to retire Hardy. So Toll is still catching. And the man who came out to warm the pitcher up in full gear isn't. All right, we told you the Orioles playing a split squad game today. They defeated the Rays 3-2 this afternoon. 1 run in the 8th, 2 runs in the 9th, to win it. Wei Yin Chen, couple of innings, his debut, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, no walks. And Almanzar, the solo home run in the 9th that broke that 1-1 tie for the Orioles. Michael Almanzar, and the Orioles got the win. All of the Orioles coaching staff was there at that away game today, and then got back, as you heard Buck Showalter say, in time to manage and coach here.
He's probably Skyping the B game on the backfield.
Skyping.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that a term?
That is a term.
Is that like Twittering?
It is like Twittering. Like that. Adam Jones drew a walk his first time up. Jenkins in that high set. And he'll come inside. Positions for Toronto in the spring to be decided. Bullpen. They are going to have 2 or 3 positions in that bullpen that need to be filled. So these pitchers who come in like Jenkins in this situation, for them, an important spring training, every appearance is trying to make an impression, trying to earn a job. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. That's an opposite field base hit. Adam Jones inside out, stopping at second base is Machado. Dickerson gets it back in, and the Orioles 2 on and 1 down.
Well, there's your 330 stroke. You know, fastball count, you don't overswing. You were talking about, I mean, the ability on a normal year, 29 home runs, 32, 33 years before. But it's a fastball down and away. You don't overswing, you don't roll over, and you just hit a rocket into right field. In fact, he hits it so hard you can't even advance Machado all the way to third.
So Adam Jones on with his hit. Now the cleanup batter, Delman Young. Young, first time up, strikeout victim. Norris, the Toronto starter, inning and 2/3. He gave up just 1 hit, had a couple of strikeouts. Delman getting the start in right field tonight, and an RBI opportunity. Try and get one on the board here in the scoreless ball game. Machado off second, short lead. That'll be a chopper down to third that's going to spin. Just foul. Milwaukee home plate umpire with a call on it. Delman Young will come back. Danny Valencia hoping on that one because that ball had a little spin on it.
Yeah, the other thing we talk about, I mean, the Orioles, they're kind of led when it comes to hustle by Adam Jones, runs everything out. But I was surprised. You kind of touched on the fact that maybe Delman Young coming up with Tampa Bay, #1 draft choice, maybe didn't run balls out. But I was amazed how hard he plays the game. Always ready to play. Runs every ball out. And I asked him after that great interview you did with him, I said, when are you going to do another interview with Gary Thorne? He said, I just can't wait.
Delman is not talkative.
No.
And a swing and a foul tip that'll end up in the mitt. We did an interview in Chicago last year at Wrigley Field with the Cubs. I'd been after Delman for months, saying, please, just do an interview. We've done everybody, and you won't do one. And, you know, fans want to hear from you. They want to see you. And he's bright, articulate. He just doesn't like to talk a lot, which is fine.
He's the Marshawn Lynch of the Orioles.
He is. And so he sat down. He sat down with me in Chicago, and we did an interview. It consisted of 6,780 questions and 3 answers.
Yeah. Did you get that many? It was hysterical.
We laughed. We laughed about it. He was laughing about it during it and afterwards.
See, the difference is that Buck Showalter would have handed the ball to Delman Young on the 18-inch line.
Yes, exactly.
That was the difference between him and Marshawn.
That was the difference. So that wasn't a pass play. A 1 ball, 2 strike count with 2 on and 1 away. And Young on the 1-2 breaking ball will stay off it. He struck out on a pitch like that his first time up.
Yeah, I still remember you watched Monday Night Football with Gifford and Dandy Don Meredith, a Hall of Fame quarterback, and then Robert Cosell. And
young man.
The quarterback would throw 5 completions and then 2 to the other guy, and Meredith would say, well, he's 7 for 7 tonight. 5 to his guys and 2 to the enemy.
Only a quarterback sees things that way. Swung on and missed. Good pitch by Jenkins right there to record the strikeout. So now 2 on and 2 down. And a big K against Delman Young.
Yeah, well, the former #1 draft choice, and this is where he lives. This is a sinking fastball. The bottom drops out. I mean, Delman, real good high ball hitter, just doesn't get to that. 91 miles per hour with great late movement.
So Chris Davis will get the opportunity. Davis up 2 on 2 down. He too a strikeout victim his first time up. Chris expected obviously to be in the lineup on day 2 against Tampa Bay, probably at first base. Pitch will be taken inside for a ball.
Yeah, there's your shift. And we talked about Adam Jones swings at first pitches more than anybody else. The guy they shift on most in the American League is the Chris Davis at the plate. David Ortiz in the second spot.
1-0 delivery. They pitched him inside in his first 2 at-bats here.
Yeah, you could see. I mean, again, he loves the ball out over the plate. Scott Coolbaugh, the new hitting instructor, said we would like to maybe quiet the hands down. If you watch Chris Davis, he's going to start high, and he's going to drop the hands. So if you get the ball in, very difficult to get to it.
2-0 the count. May get one to hit here.
Yep.
He did. Puts it up in the air. Right center field. 374. At the wall. Goodbye. Home run. 3 RBIs. Chris Davis and the Orioles have the lead.
Well, what you're seeing is, incredible power. That's never been a problem. But unless you can throw over 95, you can't get behind him and pitch down in the zone. That was a moonshot. And I know the moon's down the left field line. It's kind of moved since we started. But there is no doubt about this one.
Big time home run into that power alley. And the Orioles take a 3-0 lead.
Ooh. Yeah, he just drops the bat head and it's gone.
Machado and Jones score ahead of him, each having singles. And that will bring up Matt Wieters, the Orioles DH, as the high fives go around for what the Orioles hope will be one of many times they'll do that with Chris Davis on the receiving end. 1-0 delivery to him, and a chopper hit right in front of the plate as Torres has got it. And we'll record the out on Wieters. But the Orioles will pick up 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors, nobody left. Chris Davis for the crowd here in Sarasota out of the ballpark. Well, when it's all said and done, will there be another celebration like this one for the Orioles? One to clinch a division title and move on and have a great postseason as well. That's what the Orioles are hoping for, and maybe take it into that one last series that they did not get to because of the Kansas City Royals last year. Big winning night. Here in Sarasota, another big crowd on hand, and as the pitchers continue to come out of the bullpen, O'Day will do so for the Orioles.
Yeah, Darren O'Day, what a year he had. You can see the numbers, 5-2 with a 1.70 ERA. And again, more strikeouts and innings pitched. A little bit of hamstring problems, so September wasn't the kind of month, but that got a little bit better, and it's certainly fine now. He said, 9-10 innings in spring training? That's what he needs to get ready, and this will probably be one of them.
32-year-old Going to work here against the Jays in the fourth inning. The Orioles 3-5-0, 0-2-0 for the Jays. Dalton Pompey had a couple of home runs against the Orioles at the end of last season, playing center field, hitting in that number 3 spot, and he will foul that one back. Very little change in the Orioles bullpen. It is a very strong pen, obviously, with the likes of O'Day, Tommy Hunter, who was outstanding in a job in the bullpen for the Orioles, Dave Wallace, Dom Chiti, you see there, Dave on the right, Dom on the left. Didn't need to make changes in a bullpen that was as strong as the Orioles was. There is an adage in baseball that if you don't change a bullpen from one year to the next, it's not a good idea. But for the Orioles, no reason to believe that their bullpen people won't be as effective this year as they were.
Yeah, I think the one guy that they would have and weren't able to keep, Andrew Miller, who went to the Yankees, and what, of course, Darren O'Day gets righties and lefties out. Andrew Miller did it and struck people out. 34 strikeouts in 20 and a third innings. So again, that power arm, that tough lefty, and you know, it's great. And if you look at the jobs that Miller did, O'Day does, Tommy Hunter did, strikeouts are a huge part of it, because a lot of times you come in with runners on base. Don't always do that as a starter, or as a closer, excuse me.
1-2 is taken inside. But Showalter likes to focus. He likes to have a couple of things during the season that he wants everybody to be doing better. When it comes to pitching this season, the focus, he wants a couple more outs from every starter to shorten the responsibilities of the bullpen, which would make it a jump from about 18 outs to 20.
That's 6. Yeah, that's 6 innings. You know, you'd like to get deeper into almost the 7th inning. And the Orioles were what? They were a little bit below 18. Yes. I mean, very close to it, 17 point something.
Yep.
And if you could get to 19, 20, and we saw it with the Yankees last year, they had to go to their bullpen so often. September, you didn't have, and they were power arms.
Yep. So that's the hope. That's what he's talked to him about. Great pitch. Catches the outside corner with it. Pompey, a strikeout victim, went away here in the fourth. Talking about the pitching staff, Jim, we take a look at the month-by-month ERA ranking.
Well, and what's so interesting, if you start looking at the record, look what happened. You go into June, you're 500, and then all of a sudden, you start to pitch. So you go 4 games over, then you're 9 games over, then you're 10 games over, and then you're another 7 games over for the month of September. So, you know, meanwhile, you're hitting a lot of home runs. You know, 2 years ago, you had the best defense in the history of baseball as far as fewest errors. You're going to get back towards that this year with Machado back and Wieters back. So, again, I mean, if you can pitch, and 2 new pitching coaches, Dom Chiti in the bullpen, Dave Wallace, the head, and what did Miguel Gonzalez say? Fastball command.
Yep. Heard it all last year. We'll hear it again all this year. That's where you get it. You get that first strike, get it started in your favor. Orioles last year, pitching-wise, ended up 3rd in the American League in ERA behind Seattle and Oakland. Lowest, as Jim mentioned before, the lowest ERA for the Orioles since 1979 as a staff. Swing and a miss, and there's the riser. That is so tough to hit.
Yeah, when you talk to Darren O'Day, yeah, he had the hamstring, and it wasn't the push-off leg, it was the left leg. But watch his left leg get out there so much, he has to be able to rotate on that left hip. Couldn't do it in September. So what are you going to do this spring? Well, he's going to work on something that he worked on last year with Todd Froworth, one of the Orioles scout, a submariner, the changeup. So maybe use the changeup a little bit more in spring training, see how it goes. He feels like the release point, the grip is a lot better than last year.
Here is Justin Smoke, whom the Blue Jays hope will be their first baseman this season and bring some more power to this lineup. Encarnacion, who's played first base, really probably prefers the DH role, and that's where he will be this year if Smoke is able to get the job done at first and at the plate. Breaking ball will miss down low from O'Day.
Well, he's a pretty good fielder when you talk about Justin Smoke, and he's a switch hitter. I mean, if you don't make your pitch, I mean, he's had a little bit of a long swing, but he's got tremendous power.
He can really drive the ball and will be in a division in a ballpark where he can do that as a left-handed hitter. So we'll see. Jays are hoping, and that'll make it even tougher on opposing pitchers with adding another pop bat in a lineup that's already got Bautista and Encarnacion who can drive it. 2-1 strike count, 2 down, bases empty. Smoke will take the pitch on the outside corner. Knew it was going to be a strike. And the count's evened up at 2-2. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you in our first broadcast. Orioles all season long right here on Masson. And just great to have you with us for another tough day of winter for those in the Baltimore and Northeast area. We hope those of you not in that area enjoying some fine weather, and hoping the Baltimore area fans enjoying a broadcast and a bit of, while it's not sunshine, it's certainly a lot like summer here tonight.
So let's see. April showers bring May flowers.
Yes.
What does 8 to 10 inches of snow in March bring?
A lot of water.
A lot of shoveling.
A lot of shoveling. Well, you're just hoping for another adage to come into play. Right in like a lion, out like a lamb. That's your hope. 2-2 strike count with 2 down. And a swing and a miss.
There's a change.
Great pitch, had him way out in front. Darren O'Day strikes the side out, protecting the Orioles lead. Orioles up by a score of 3-0. And a reminder, the Junior Orioles Dugout Club is back this year. Birdland's best value in family entertainment. Kids 14 and under. Tickets to 10 games, exclusive club hat, membership card, sports bag, and more. It's only $25. And you even get exclusive giveaway items each game. And for family and friends, tickets start as low as $6. Chance to upgrade to the lower deck as well. So put your family in the lineup. Go to Orioles.com/dugout club. Or call 888-848-BIRD. Couple of dugout club potentials right there. Here, the Orioles have a 3-0 lead, and we will see the 4th Toronto pitcher.
Well, the veteran Jeff Francis, 2005, 6, 7 with Colorado. 15, 16, 17 game winner. Last year, 3 teams, the Yankees and Oakland, Cincinnati. So he's from the other side of Canada, all the way out in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Left-hander working against Steve Pearce. Pearce grounded out to third, his first time up. He's played already both right and left field. He can also play some first base, as we have seen him do before. Signed a 1-year deal. A number of the Orioles getting 1-year deals in order to avoid arbitration, getting those done. 2-0 pitch to him. Francis floats outside with that one and misses, so he falls behind, I think, our first 3-0 count of the ball game.
Yeah, he is not a hard thrower. He threw much harder early in his career, arm injuries. Yeah, good change up. Again, he's 6'5", big, tall guy.
Popped it up, first base, Smoke right along the line. He'll be in fair territory, and on the 3-0, Pearce is retired.
Yeah, not happy with that. I mean, had a good swing, let him go 3-0.
Time to get cuts in here in the early part of spring training, and that's what Pearce was given a chance to do right there. Here's Lavarnway doing the catching in the ball game tonight. Lavarnway has picked up a single. Manny Machado's gone 2 for 2. Jones has had a single. Davis, the big 3-run homer. And Lavarnway, a base hit that came back in the second inning. There's Chris, who's given the Orioles the 3-0 lead in this ball game. And the pitch will miss outside, a little bit low for a ball. 74 degrees, the temperature here at game time tonight. I think they said it was 26 in Baltimore and 19 in Toronto. They always like to make you feel good. The PA announcer every ball game announces the temperature in Baltimore and the other town the Orioles are playing, and then they announce the temperature in Sarasota.
And all the snowbirds, they clap.
They clap and applaud and call their friends and say,
exactly, text them.
That's right. And boys,
tweet them.
Sarasota busy. Oh, my gosh. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way, and that'll be down the line in right field, way up in the air. Dickerson over. 2 down.
Yeah, well, France is going to throw a lot of strikes. And again, if he can get ahead, he's going to try to get you out with a changeup. When you come in, you didn't want to go 3-0. Pierce pops it up. A little sigh of relief by everybody. John Gibbons going, night game?
Night game,
first
game
week.
3?
I said, did you bring the A players? He goes, are you kidding me?
I don't think so.
No.
Jonathan Scope, strikeout victim, his first time up. The weather up north and in the Midwest this winter is going to really be a great boom for the Sunshine States, Florida in particular, both for this winter and next year. Nothing brings the fans like cabin fever, and boy, cabin fever this year was big time.
Well, the other thing is, and I know you've lived here for years. Spring training in Sarasota is not a bad place to be. Great restaurant. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of traffic, but I mean, you can get around. Culture, beaches, baseball, warm weather.
If I wasn't here tonight, I'd be at Freddie Cole's concert, Nat King Cole's younger brother.
Oh, really?
The Sarasota Jazz Festival's going on. Great pianist and vocalist. He's performing right now at this minute here in Sarasota. I heard him last night on public radio, WUSF down here. Big baseball fan. He grew up. He's 12 years younger than the late, great Nat King Cole. Freddie Cole grew up in Chicago as a baseball fan. He was talking about the loss of Minnie Minoso, who passed away. And he saw Minnie Minoso get his first hit playing in Chicago. Swung on and missed. Jonathan Scope is retired. So Freddie Cole, hope you're having a great concert because we're having a great game. Orioles have a 3-0 lead. Zach Britton coming on. Well, we talked about Toronto, probably two closers, Cecil and Sanchez. For the Orioles, they know who their closer is going to be. Last year, fourth in the league in saves, at home 3-0, a sparkling .83 ERA, 18 for 18 saves, and the highest ground ball percentage as a reliever in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it's one of the amazing stories. You go back to 2011, he won more games than anybody. As a starter at 11, then the arm injuries. Last year, because he was out of options, had to make the ball club. They put him in the bullpen. Tommy Hunter started as the closer. Not that he didn't save games, just didn't do it very efficiently. He gets the ball. And the amazing thing, 37 out of 41. But to give you an idea what 75% of the pitches you put in play, he threw 147 balls on the ground and 22 in the air. That works.
It's amazing. Just very hard to get underneath the pitches delivered by Zach Britton. So he, too, will have just enough appearances here in spring training to be ready to go at the start of the year.
Yeah, he's just kind of working on the release point of the breaking ball. Doesn't throw it very much. More to lefties. Right here he does that. When he's a starter, he had a change-up, slider, and the sinker. But again, he can throw 93 to 97. And a strike-throwing machine. And when you look at the blown saves, one in May, then he went a month. The 3-run home run by Beltran against the Yankees. Then you had the game right after the All-Star break in July. Donaldson hit the 3-run home run. Very few and far between. Just an amazing season.
Any pitch, probably the only pitches he threw up during that entire time frame up in the zone were the ones that ended up being the hits that ended the streaks. He had, a 35-plus consecutive innings scoreless streak that he put up last year. Valencia base hit in the ball game. Danny will take the pitch outside. 2 hits for the Jays so far. Valencia's got one of them. Josh Toll, the catcher, has the other. O'Day worked an inning, struck out everybody he faced. Brian Mattis, solid inning with a hit and a strikeout. Gonzalez, 2 innings, only 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. Chopped down to third base, big high hop. Manny Machado's got it. Davis, 1 down. Orioles, a couple of other starters, Tillman and Bud Norris, have yet to make their appearance. They are going to be doing so, however, in this week. As again, Buck Showalter said, we've really got this all mapped out for the year, and we do not want to be overthrowing these starters. So we're going to wait and give them their chances a little later than you might expect. Their first starts are going to be coming on Saturday against the Red Sox for Norris, and Tillman against the Phillies on Monday. They'll make their first exhibition game appearances. They're, of course, working every day on the backfield.
And when you talk to him, you go, I saw Tilly, he was doing his rotator cuff exercises yesterday. I said, when you pitching? He said, the 9th. I said, what? The 9th? He goes, I don't know why, but I'm pitching on the 9th. And he'll be ready to do that.
And will probably be the opening day pitcher. Those announcements Buck Showalter makes later in spring training.
Yeah, everybody else, you already know. You mentioned that Chris Davis, who with the 3-run home run night to give him the lead, he's going to be suspended the first game, but it's going to be Cobb. And then I believe Chris Archer, and then Drew Smiley. So that, and Buck said, of course, Buck says, even if you know, why are you telling people? There's just no need to do it.
It's amazing. It's unheard of in this day and age to name your starter until probably at least week 3 and maybe the final week of spring training. Here he is named all 3 in his first year as manager. Taking over at Tampa Bay, Dickerson retired on the ground ball.
Yeah, we're talking about Kevin Cash, who managed for the first year.
Be interesting. Tampa Bay, a ball club that's going to be, except for their pitching staff, the names are a lot of changes on that ball club. They should have outstanding pitching. How they're going to score runs remains to be seen.
Well, they did go out and get Asdrubal Cabrera. He'll play shortstop. Now, he's still under 30, even though I thought he maybe would be 30, 31. His greatest offensive years, at least to this point, were probably 2-3 years ago. He played with the Nationals playing second base. Look at this, another
chopper, and that'll be played by Manny Machado. And there you see Britton at his best. 3 ground balls and 3 outs. 3-0 lead for the Orioles, 5th inning. Opening day coming. Get your tickets now for the season. Perfect setting for a group outing. Family, friends, co-workers, colleagues can enjoy a fun-filled day or night at the ballpark. Discounted ticket prices for groups as small as 15 and party facilities up to 1,000. Oriole Park, Camden Yards. Great place to be. Bring your friends. Make it an experience. For details, Orioles.com/groups or 888-848-BIRD. Gary Thornton Palmer with you. The Orioles up by a score of 3-0. Orioles will take a look now at a former Preston Gilbert.
Yeah, we talked about the Orioles winning 96 games, and Preston pitched in 10 games for the Orioles. Early on, I think, 6 straight scoreless schemes, and then got behind in some counts. But he's a guy that throws a lot of strikes, 89 and 91. Not a hard thrower, but he has the split-fingered fastball. And it was kind of interesting when he came up. Buck Showalter said, great success. The Orioles got him out of the Cleveland organization. He said, maybe we're missing something that they might have missed. So he came up because of injuries, pitched pretty well for a while, traded to Pittsburgh, and then the Toronto Blue Jays claimed him on waivers.
And another one of the players looking for a spot in the bullpen with the openings that they do have there. He is going to face the top of the order. Manny Machado already 2 for 2, couple of singles. And he has scored a run, came in ahead of Chris Davis on that home run. Gilmet's delivery to him is going to miss down low for a ball.
Yeah, see, that's the fastball. And, the great thing about spring training 2050 is that barring any injury, Manny's going to get to play in it. Something he didn't do last year.
And that ball he goes after way out in front, popped it up third base side. Danny Valencia.
Yeah, the other thing about Preston Gilmet, he trusts his splitter. Doesn't matter what the count is. Now, he hung that one, but he hung it out of the zone, that's when you're going well.
And him out in front of the pitch.
Yeah.
J.J. Hardy, he is flied out and lined out. Probably last at bat we'll see for the Orioles starters in the lineup. And they are, as we said, Orioles starters when Game 1 rolls around in Tampa Bay. Most of these guys are going to be in the lineup. The overhand pitch is going to miss down low for a ball and a 1-0 count. J.J. Hardy, Orioles Gold Glove shortstop. Back there again, of course, this season. Fans really happy when that deal got done. As it went on for a while, some question about whether the Orioles would get him signed, and then when they did.
Yeah, somebody asked me down in the cage, were you surprised that he signed so quickly? And I said, well, he did get $40 million.
Yeah, that signed quickly.
Yeah.
Give me that deal.
Where is that? Give me
that paper.
Yes. I'll supply the
Just
pen.
show me the signature page.
Right.
I don't care about the rest.
Exactly.
1 ball, 2 strikeout, 1 away. And Hardy goes the other way. That'll stay up in the air. Dickerson in the lights finds it, puts it away.
Yeah, he's a real good outfielder. I mean, that's pretty routine as long as you can see it. Well, we saw that Chris Dickerson that came out of when he played with the Orioles a couple years ago, came out of the Yankee organization where, he was a center fielder. And not only that, quality guy. Good to see him.
Short at it with Toronto now. Adam Jones delivered a base hit. He scored in the 3rd inning. He has also drawn a walk in the ball game. 2 down, nobody on. 3-5-0 for the Orioles. 0-2-0 for Toronto. We're telling you about the offensive production down. That's the other thing. Pace of game was a big deal in the offseason. Trying to spike up the offense a little bit around Major League Baseball since the numbers, runs per game, lowest since 1981. I noted a New York Times article today regarding NCAA baseball. They are using a new baseball. It's called the flat seam ball. And home runs so far in college games are up 40%. It's introduced this season to give them more offense. The studies show that the flat seam travels 20 feet further than a raised seam ball.
Now, I read something where actually a pitcher said he felt very comfortable using his breaking ball. I would think the flatter the seams, maybe you don't get as much backspin, side spin, maybe harder to grip. But again, I guess it's pitching is feel and touch, but it reminded me, I think 77 they tested the American League Baseball or the Major League Baseball. That, of course, back then you had 2, one for the National League, one for the American League. That was a year for every 360 feet the ball did go 18 feet farther. And I didn't like that.
Way.
Did not like that.
No, you wouldn't like that as a pitcher. No. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be swung on and missed, and a strikeout. So Gillette comes on and retires the side in order. We completed 5. We'll see the Iceman, Tommy Hunter, coming on. Cal Jr. was on hand at the ballpark here today, throwing out the ceremonial first pitch here at Ed Smith Stadium in Sarasota, part of the National Book Tour for his new book, Out at Home. It is the 5th installment in the New York Times best-selling Cal Ripken Jr.'s All-Stars series. He signed the autographs for fans. A lot of books headed out of here tonight, and the close to a sellout crowd here. Fans delighted with the opportunity to see him. Cal Ripken Jr. And here's Tommy Hunter.
Well, you can see 60 games. In the last 43 had a 1.77, under 2 runs a game. So, again, a lot of strikeouts. They talked about, we were talking about how runs have gone down, velocity's gone up. The average fastball, 92.5 out of the bullpen. That's collectively in Major League Baseball. Tommy is number 10 as far as velocity, 96.5 average fastball.
And the pitch will be taken down low for a ball as we start the 6th inning. But Josh Toll's done the catching and has picked up a base hit.
Yeah, the key to me, though, is when Dom Cheedy and Dave Wallace, respectively the new pitching coaches, taught him the 2-seam fastball. More movement, and, the ability to hit the outside corner. They told him that cut fastball, thing of the past, and that's when the numbers dramatically came down.
Yep. Dave and Dom. 2-0 delivery from Tommy Hunter. That's just going to miss outside. Tommy wanted to call on that and did not get it. And the count will go to 3-0. Only the second 3-0 count we've had in the ball game.
Yeah, doesn't walk a whole lot of guys. Of course, this is spring training, and he'll throw the next couple right down the middle and hope they don't go there.
And it didn't.
Yeah.
So the walk, a leadoff walk. That is going to be the first walk surrendered by the Orioles pitchers in the ball game. Follow the conversation all season long with the Birdland social media clubhouse. Visit Orioles.com/connect to find out how you can get insider access on Facebook. That's Twitter, Jim? Twitter?
Yes.
Twitter? Instagram and more. Connect your favorite players and be among the first to hear breaking news. Join the conversation today at Orioles.com/connect.
I sent out a tweet of you tonight.
You did?
Yes, I did.
I'll look at that.
Yeah, I bet you will.
2030.
You'll get around to it.
If I'm still around.
You had the luau shirt on.
I did have the luau shirt.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. Ezekiel Carrera, leadoff batter. A couple of strikeouts, one swinging, one called. Infield double play depth bunting. He had real good speed. Throw's got to go to first.
Yeah.
And it's on the money. LaVarn Way took a look at second, but had no chance.
Yeah, sensible play. 6th inning, 3-run lead. This is a bunt for a base hit because you're trying to get hits on the board. And, again, LaVarn Way played it perfectly. He did take a nice look. I almost thought that maybe he was going to throw it down there, but
picked the arm up a little bit, but then it was like, no. And went to first. Here is Devin Travis. Travis, their second baseman. He is grounded out and flied out. Runner on at second base now as the Jays try and take advantage of the leadoff walk and get a run in as they are trailing in the ball game by a score of 3-0. This one has been so far dominated by the pitchers. And that one is strike two.
A little changeup. I'm not sure you really want to do that on a regular basis to major league hitters because he threw it right by him. He swung one, was in the glove, and came back with a changeup, but he still took it. There we go.
Fans enjoying meeting some players out there in the bullpen. Yep. And that one lashed foul down towards the bullpen area. Count goes to 0-2. It's a nice thing about this ballpark with the bullpens that most of the new spring training facilities, it's very hard to get close to the players anymore. I mean, it used to be in the Dodger Town was the epitome of it. You could actually walk through Dodger Town where the players are going back and forth with you on the same sidewalks to their fields and clubhouses and living facilities. So obviously we don't do that anymore, unfortunately. But here you get a chance to be down there pretty close. And if the guys want to go up, and they do, they talk to people who are around the fence in the seating area down there.
Well, it's very much like Camden Yards. The ushers are, I mean, like they're your best friends. Whoa.
First bat into the seats.
Wow.
Boy, that was way back. Runner to third.
I'm trying to.
Strikeout wild pitch. And looks like everybody's all right. Wow.
Well, did he swing or did the ball get by LaVarnway? And it's actually, I don't know if they'll call it a wild pitch, but take a look right here. And if this strike three, he just missed it. That's that two-seamer that just really runs, and Ryan LaVarnway can't get the leather on it.
So the Jays inning will continue. Runners on at first and third now with two down. A walk, strikeout, wild pitch, and only one away.
Yeah, one that the scoreboard has 2 outs. Now it changed.
It's only one.
It's only 3 batters been hitting.
Yep. Pompey now, he's got some power, will stand in, and the pitch will be taken up high. Pompey batting third in the lineup with the fly ball out and strikeout. Called out on strikes his last time up. Orioles outfield, Adam Jones in particular, fairly shallow against him. It'll be fouled off outside of first base. 1 ball, 1 strike count from Tommy Hunter. Darren O'Day, an inning, 3 strikeouts. Britton, an inning, 3 ground ball outs. Brian Mattis, an inning, a run and a hit. Gonzalez, 2 innings with 1 hit and a strikeout. Real good performances by the Oriole pitchers so far in this game. 1-1 delivery. Pompey takes, and that's going to miss outside. Count will go to 2-1.
Yeah, the leadoff walk kind of sets up the inning because you have these left-handed hitters coming up, and early on after Toll walked, you get a lefty trying to hit it into right field. Now you have to hold the runner on, and because Davis has some speed, stole 43 bases last year, and almost had him leaning.
Yep. Another reason why Travis has got the opportunity to play at second base with that speed that he's got. His lead, pretty good one, almost to the cut of the grass. Fake the go, swing and a miss on a good breaking ball off speed pitch right there. 2-2.
Yeah, it looked like maybe a slider and a fastball count.
Pompey, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Orioles up on the 3-run homer by Chris Davis. Came in the 3rd inning. Runner goes, throw down. Runner stays at 3rd. Right on the money. He got him. Oh! What a toss that was by LaVarnway on a strike him out, throw him out, double play, and that will end the inning. And that's how you get it done and help your pitcher. 1 left on. It's still 3-0.
We thought our cable internet was fast.
But our uploads are
With a 3-0 lead, having won the day portion of the ball game that they played today, winning it in the 9th inning. Almeida getting the key hit. There'll be some defensive changes coming now, and there'll be a change on the mound.
Yeah, Colt Hines comes in, another guy they claimed off of waivers last year, pitching most of the year for AAA Albuquerque, Dodgers AAA ball club in the high altitude, over 5,000 feet in Albuquerque. A pretty good year, a lot of strikeouts, 53 in 60 innings.
So Tolleson has come on to play in left field. Caleb Gindel will be in right field for them. Kawasaki comes on to play at short. And Ochinko is doing the catching, so a new battery for the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Orioles will be getting many of their starters out here in the next half inning as well. Here is Delman Young playing in right field. Couple of strikeouts, both times swinging. Goes against the left-hander, and the pitch will be taken outside. Count goes to 2-0. Gilmet worked an inning, had one strikeout prior to Colt Hines coming on. 29-year-old gets one in the middle of the plate, driven deep to center field. Pompey has got room. Delman Young retired. That will bring up Chris Davis. It's a 3-0 ball game because of.
Yeah, 2-1 pitch, and it's just golfed out of here. Part of hitting is getting good pitches to hit, and when you get them, you try not to miss them.
And he didn't. Got ahead in the count, the big difference. Big shift will be put on. Davis also called out on strikes in the only other at bat he's had in the ball game.
Well, that's
pitch
a great
on the way for a strike.
Gary, that's a great point, because sometimes with Chad Jenkins, he actually wasn't close. But again, having a discerning eye, knowing what you want to hit, having a plan, whatever you want to call it, that sometimes gets you into those hitters' counts.
Headed to the moon, literally.
Yeah.
Oh, sliding attempt. Did he get it? No. Two chances on that. Kawasaki just came into the ball game and almost got it once, and then the second time almost had it.
Yeah, what makes it even harder is the shift sign. So he's way up the middle. So he was almost all the way back to Dunedin by the time that ball fell just out of reach.
That was a long run.
Well, they love him, and of course he wore the Orioles out a couple of years ago, but just couldn't get it. And he will get up. There you go. Wow, that's a rough landing.
That's a long way, too. No time to slow down. Count goes to Davis. 2 strikes. Big shift stays on. And a swing and a miss. Again, jamming him inside. And there are 2 away. Here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Live Orioles baseball is back in 2015. MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. You can stay connected. Live radio broadcast, stats, breaking news, and more. Download it. MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. 2 down, nobody on. Here's Matt Wieters. Matt in the DH role has grounded out twice to short in the ball game. Promised a lot of at-bats by Buck Showalter. Want to get back into game condition. Showalter applauding the efforts coming off the Tommy John surgery. Of never seen anybody work harder in a rehab effort than he saw from Matt Wieters.
Yeah, Richie Banzel's the Orioles head trainer, along with Brian Ebel. He said, we get a lot of people who get hurt. But for Matt, and of course he stayed with the club most of the year. And if you start looking, he said, not only, the arm, he said, most guys will concentrate on, if you have Tommy John, you're going to work your shoulder, whatever. But he's done rotator cuff stuff. There's much more strength in his legs. He might even steal some bases this year. You never know how it's going to be. You never know.
You never know.
But again, about as fit as he's ever been.
Yeah. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that one's going to be foul back. Well,
because, a lot of times when pitchers hurt their arms, they said, well, because you hurt your arm and you had to do all the rehab, you throw harder because you work on other parts of your body. The same thing can apply. And there's Richie talking to on the right, looking to Buck Showalter. The same thing can apply to a catcher.
Swing and a miss on a pitch up high. So Haynes comes on, retires the side in order with a couple of strikeouts, and we'll go to the 7th inning, a 3-0 ball game for the O's. Three 3-0 lead here in Sarasota. And a beautiful night for a game going the Orioles' way to the 7th inning. Number of changes coming up for the Orioles. Let's start on the mound. Michael Givens.
Yeah, really out of Tampa. So, again, second-round draft choice, power arm. Has a chance. You can see the numbers last year. He was down at Delmarva, Bowie, over the course of his minor league career. You can see a lot of walks. And I can relate to that. I walked 130 in my first 129 innings in A-ball. So you come to spring training, maybe you do a little instructional league, you work on the windup. Figure that if you have talent, and he certainly has that, sooner or later you'll be able to command your stuff.
A lot of changes for the Orioles. Julio Bourbon has come on to play in center field. Jones out. Nolan Reimold for Delman Young in right field. Dosh will come on to play at third. Manny Machado out. Pitch on the way by Givens and a big cut. Visaedo can't swing it much harder than that for a strike. Ozzie Martinez is now playing at shortstop. Trey Mancini is over at first base. And Caleb Joseph is now behind the plate for the Orioles.
Soon to be a dad. His wife, Brooke, expecting any moment. Otherwise, they're going to have the baby induced on Monday. Yeah, my daughter Jamie, I predicted when she was going to be born because she was going to be induced. People thought I could see the future. It will be at 11 o'clock. It'll be on Monday.
We're going the way of the old medicine man who knew when there was going to be.
Yeah. I said, you just know the way to the hospital. That's
Disappearance of the sun.
That's what, yeah. Yeah, that too. All that together.
Yeah. A 2-ball, 1-strike count. There's Caleb behind the plate for the Orioles, looking to be their backup catcher behind Matt Wieters. And how much behind the backup catcher is for the Orioles yet to be determined because nobody knows how Matt's going to be behind the plate health-wise.
Well, another one of the pieces of the puzzle that allowed them to win 96 games. I mean, if you were an Oriole fan last year, the story with Caleb Joseph is that if you ever thought, 29 home runs in Double-A, hitting wouldn't be a problem, even though he did struggle with a bat at this level. But what a job he did behind the plate.
Yep.
Calling games throughout 40% of the attempted base stealers. Very, very comfortable.
Very experienced catcher in professional baseball, and always, even before he was on the ball club last year, always a presence deep into spring training. Mm-hmm. Somebody they liked to have pitchers work to. And then finally the opportunity to be on the big club. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Visaedo strikeout, a ground ball out, 7th inning. Givens delivery to him. That's down the right field line. That's where they weren't playing him. A very long run. Reimold diving, can't get it. In foul territory. Nolan was way over towards center, so he had a long way to go.
Well, he was talking about how he really worked. I mean, because, he had the Achilles. He had the cervical problems. How he finally feels like he's able to kind of do what he did. A couple of years ago, if he made that kind of dive, you're going, is he going to get up and be able to actually go back to his position? A couple of hits yesterday.
Yep.
Late in the ball game. I still think this could be one of the surprise because, again, you have a lot of lefties. Travis Snyder, Diaza, he's going to be on the ball club with salary over $5 million. Snyder, who last year played with Pittsburgh, hit 13 home runs. But, boy, I saw a lot of platoon work.
That one drilled to center field. It is way back. More Bones got room. Warning track. And he's got it almost 400 feet away. With Nolan Reimold, you take a look at some of the Oriole additions. Now, these are minor league deals. Aaron Sebia and LeVar Wade catchers. Jason Nix is going to get some playing time here. Janish hurt here in spring training. Reimold on that list. Mark Hendrickson, of course, who's pitched with the Orioles before. Parmalee, an infielder. Dane De La Rosa, the right-hander. Chaz Rowe, a right-hander. Tiasa Sopo, an outfielder, all on minor league deals. You build depth because you never know.
Yeah, Buck Showalter always talks about it, along with Dan Duquette, the Vice President of Baseball Operations. And we've seen it. It's not just 25-man rosters, not only 40, but sometimes it's more than that. You have guys at AAA, and such a great rapport. Ron Johnson down in Norfolk, it's really turned out to be a great franchise for the Orioles. And again, you get guys that have some major league experience, and a lot of those names do.
Justin Smoke one down. Givens pitch hit hard to second base. Sinking line drive. Jonathan Scope right there in front of it. 40-man roster, of course, is what you go into the season with. On the 40-man roster, Cabrera, where is he going to fit in? You got two Rule 5, Verrett and Garcia. Wesley Wright, the left-hander, whom they like a lot. Ray Navarro, infielder, and Jim was just talking about Travis Snyder.
Yeah, former #1 draft choice for the Blue Jays the last couple of years in Pittsburgh. Amazing thing when you look at Travis Snyder, John Gibbons, the skipper of the Blue Jays, said they really liked him. Good personal guy. But last year he hit .381 against left-handed pitching. I mean, 2 of his 13 home runs. But again, a guy, former #1 draft choice.
This is Dwight Smith, who is getting his first chance in the ball game for Danny Valencia. Valencia had a base hit and a ground ball out. So Smith comes on in his 4th professional season. He played at Dunedin in A-ball last year and hit .284. And
a little bit of power.
12 home runs.
Yeah. The other thing you like is the on-base percentage.
60 RBIs for him, too.
363, getting on base with 36% of the time.
And even better the year before that. That'll be fouled away. And Smith is trying to make an impression. Not going to make the ball club, but make an impression, move up a little bit in the organization. That's what players try and do here in these spring training games who are in his situation. He's 22 years old. Peachtree, Georgia. Lashes that one foul the other way, and the count will stay at 2-2 from Givens.
Yeah, so if you're Michael Givens and you're a little bit late on the fastball, it doesn't mean you can't throw a breaking ball. At 2-2, you still have a chance. You're going to throw it a little out of the strike zone. Get him to chase. Otherwise, you throw it for a strike, you'll probably speed up the bat. That's when you get in trouble.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery on the way to him, and that pitch will be taken away. Givens trying to give the Orioles their 4th clean inning in this ball game. Gonzalez had one to start the ball game out. Britton had one. O'Day had one, where the side was retired in order. 3-2 pitch on the way by Givens. That'll be foul tip. Can't be held on to. And a 3-ball, 2-strike count.
Well, you certainly like the velocity at 94. It's a nice little at bat right there to keep it alive.
Nobody on here in the ball game so far. Production, Davis home run. Chris Davis, that's been it. 3-2 delivery to him and a breaking ball. That'll go to first base and handled cleanly there. Trey Mancini will take it to the backside, retired in order. It's 7th inning stretch time here in Game 3 of the spring for the Orioles from Sarasota. broadcast is presented by authority of the Baltimore Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Baltimore Orioles. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer stand up, and that's what the fans are doing here. 7th inning stretch time. We're going to get a look at Corey Burns.
Another waiver claim by the Blue Jays out of Arizona last year. Round Rock, AAA, and then Montgomery and Durham for Tampa Bay down in the International League. When you start looking at the numbers, you can see more hits than innings pitched, so probably means he's a guy that doesn't have a power arm, maybe pitches to contact, trying to keep the ball down in the zone. Steve Pearce will try to do some damage here.
27-year-old right-hander Pierce, 0 for 2. Ground ball out in the pop-out. Some big cuts here. Dwight Smith has stayed in the ball game. He is in left field. Mitch Ney is playing at third base. Tolleson has moved from the outfield to second. And Matt Haig has come on to play at first base. And a 2-ball, 1-strike count. So both ball clubs getting the folks off the bench. Travel squad pretty extensive since Dunedin's not that far away for the Jays.
And then the Orioles go over there tomorrow.
Yes, they'll
Mike
play
Wright,
tomorrow.
who pitched really well.
Towards the hole, and that's going to be a base hit. Couldn't be played at short. Kawasaki had no chance, and so Pierce is on with a leadoff single in the 7th.
Yeah, the kind of year that Steve Pearce, you don't want to get into hitters counts. 2-1. He can be a little bit quicker. He can look for his pitch. He does some up. And he had a nice little range by Kawasaki. He's all over the field. And Oriole killer 2 years ago, and they love him in Toronto.
There is Mike Yastrzemski, called up to be available, so he's on as a pinch runner for Pierce at first base. And Caleb Joseph goes after the first pitch he sees in the ball game. First time to the plate for him.
Oh, we talked about Caleb. Marvelous, one of the lowest ERAs as far as catchers when he was catching last year in the American League. But again, he's going to the Manny Machado swing. Laying the bat on the shoulder. You know, he knows as well as anybody. I mean, he had some success, 5 home runs in 5 consecutive games, but he's just trying to be a little more compact with his swing.
Number one thing I think for Caleb right now is it's confidence. It's not that he can't do it, but he got into the funk at the end of the season last year, and he was really down on himself.
He threw like a 4 for 50. But the one thing, and if you're going to catch for Buck Showalter, you better be able to call a good game. You better be able to throw. You better understand what the priorities are, and I think he did a great job of that.
Yep.
But the other thing is the fact that he had a big long swing, and to me, I mean, can he play? We know he can play and play well defensively, but could he be the guy that comes and maybe plays once or twice a week?
That is the question.
Yeah, I think that'll.
And a lot of catchers on the roster. Pitch is up high as take a look at yet another out of the bullpen. Virtually everybody working an inning here. Burns on for Hines. Hines had a couple of strikeouts, retiring the side in order. This has been a real pitcher's night for both teams. Jenkins, the only one, Jeff Jenkins, who got touched up on the home run. Boy, an off speed. Breaking ball right there gets him. Yeah,
I'm not sure if that's a splitter or a changeup, but the bottom just kind of dropped out and heads right for the kind of the kneecaps of Caleb Joseph. Yeah, it looks like almost he turns it over. Big screwball changeup.
Well, no mistake that Jonathan Scope remains in the ballgame at second base and will take his at-bat here in the 7th inning. This is a bat we've talked about. The Orioles want to get going. Way to do that, give him some chances. Give him more at-bats than you might otherwise for a player who's got a chance to be a starter. Just let him see more pitches here in spring training and see if he can get himself into a groove. So he'll play deeper into ball games as a starter than many of the other Oriole starters will, and that will probably stay true throughout spring training. Turns on that one probably a little bit too much down the line and foul. Way out there in the pavilion. It's a great area to watch a ball game. The pavilion here at Ed Smith Stadium, new when the Orioles moved in, did all the renovations. See the seats that are out there along the railings. Got all kinds of beverage, food facilities out there as well. Palm trees to sit under. Not bad. That ball's the other way. That one may stay inside the line. It is deep. Hey, goodbye, home run. Jonathan Scope, a 2-run shot and a 5-0 lead. That's why you want to be out there.
Well, you kind of touched on it earlier, Gary, about, building up the confidence. About 480 at bats, struck out 122 times, but did hit 16 home runs. So power, never a problem with Jonathan contact. And this is an 0-1 pitch. Burns will leave it up, and he just, what you like about this, it's a very short swing, so he's able to keep it fair. A lot of times you'll hook that ball foul, but he keeps it inside the foul pole, and the Orioles had a couple more runs.
That's a chopper in front of the plate. Nolan Reimold goes to short. Kawasaki did not get... Oh, he did. Very close play at first base with Reimold showing some good speed. And Kawasaki records the out.
Well, when Nolan finally came to the big leagues, remember Terry Crowley, hitting instructor at the time, said he could hit home runs without trying. But the other thing he could do, and it's almost bang, bang, is he can run. Maybe the throw, quarter of a step, whatever, just in time to get him, but made it very close by hustle.
It's a great sign, even in the out for the Orioles and for Reimold, is the fact that speed is there after all the physical problems he has to be able to go down the line like that.
And then if you remember, and you have to go back to, the beginning of 2012, I mean, he had, 66 bats, had about 9 extra base hits. So
Drew Dosh getting a first at bat here as the Orioles who came on as defensive replacements getting their chances now at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strikeout, 2 down. Burns' delivery will catch the outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, all these guys, they kind of dressing in this, the back ancillary of, but they don't have numbers on them. So you kind of meet them and you kind of put the names with what positions they are. Yes. You kind of look if they're taking bats out to the field versus gloves.
That'll go to first base. That'll be handled by Hogue, who will go to the bag, or Haig, if you will. And we've completed 7 for Jonathan Scope. Bingo! You folks out there in the pavilion, get ready. It's coming. Orioles have the 5-0 lead over the Jays, and Steve Pearce, who we have seen in this ball game, is out and good enough to take time to join us. Steve, first of all, great to have you with us. Appreciate it. Tell us what you're working on here as the spring training begins.
It's just the typical spring training routine, just trying to, get your timing down and all that comes with, at-bats and, further along in spring training.
Well, how about defensively? I hadn't really seen, I saw you play in the outfield, but I was amazed how well you played first base when Chris Davis was hurt. Taking balls in the infield, outfield, all over the place.
I take pride in my defense. It's something I work on, every day. And, my path coming up is I had to be able to play the field. And, you know, I had to be versatile in order to stay in the big leagues, and, you know, I work hard on that.
Where do you see yourself with the Orioles this season, Steve?
You know, I'll play wherever Buck needs me to play. You know, I can play outfield, first base, third base, just whatever. Whatever they need me to do, I'm going to do it. You know, I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm just going to, you know, put my head down and do my job.
You know, I was talking to J.D. Martinez, who had a terrific year with the Tigers yesterday, and he said everybody talks about when you have success. He had it, you had it. The league adjusts. He said, but they adjusted, you know, last year as you're going, you know, you had, 21 home runs? And so did you see them adjust, and were you able to handle it?
Yeah, you know, I saw them adjust, but, you know, you constantly got to adjust, you know, and if you're going good or bad. But, you know, it's my job. You know, I got to go out there and I got to hit, and I got to find ways to hit. You know, if you're slumping, you know, you got to work to adjust to get out of it. So, you know, it's just the name of the game. You constantly got to make adjustments.
Anything about the changes regarding pace of game that you like, dislike? The clock's going to be out there, staying in the box. Affect you at all, do you think?
You know, personally, it's not going to affect me. You know, I could. It's definitely a plus. You know, if you can, you know, not have a 4-hour game because of, you know, dead time. So, you know, if they can just cut out the little things, you know, it'll definitely make the game a lot quicker.
Steve, we really appreciate it. Congratulations back here with the Orioles, new deal, and we look forward to seeing you this season.
All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Dave Pearce joining us, who will fit in this somewhere on this ball club, and probably in a lot of places, as he said, left, right, first.
Boy, you talked about it. If Chris Davis does play right field or DHs, I mean, I was amazed, and we saw it down in Tampa when Chris had the oblique pull. You know, Steve Pearce got to play, hit home runs defensively. The Orioles were able to sweep that series.
Chris Jones on the mound here for the Orioles. Leadoff single by Gendel. And how many times has it been said in baseball, Yastrzemski goes to left?
Yeah. I get nervous when you say that because his grandfather could flat out play, which is why he's in the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown.
And Yastrzemski is in left for the Orioles. Pitch taken by Kawasaki. This is his first at bat. And a little adjustment by the home plate umpire here. Kawasaki with a runner on, nobody out, 8th inning. Orioles up 5-0. Manny Machado is joining us. He's out of the ball game. Manny, big night. Couple of hits, runs scored, 2 for 3 in the game. Manny, we were talking about how happy you've got to be to see the beginning of a spring training where you're actually on the field. Kind of fun, isn't it?
A little bit of fun. You know, it's exciting to be back out there and, you know, getting my feet wet with playing games. So I'm just excited to be out there and playing and, you know, trying to be healthy.
3 ball, 2 strike count. And the delivery, and that'll be whacked away and fouled off.
Well, I noticed last year, I mean, because you didn't play in the spring, I know you're doing a lot of backfield stuff, but because of the knee injury, the right knee injury. But then all of a sudden, as the season progressed, you looked exactly the way you were before you got injured. How important is spring training?
Spring training is huge. That's what people take for granted. You know, you got to go out there and, you know, it's all about the reps, catching grounders, seeing the bat off the ball, seeing pitches. You know, there's a lot into it that you get into in spring training. The games, you know, they mean a lot, and you get a lot out of it, you know, if you put the right work in it. So that's what we're doing here. You know, I'm trying to get my work in, trying to do everything I can to stay on the field and be healthy.
Talking about that, Manny, staying on the field, what did you do in the offseason to try and make the opportunity to stay on the field better in your favor?
You know, just work a little harder. You know, stay mentally strong and staying prepared of what I need to do, which the main goal was, you know, get back on the field. And, you know, here I am. You know, now the point is got to continue doing what I need to be doing, keep getting my strength up, and, you know, keep the reps up. And I think I'll be pretty good.
Yeah, well, you know, you got married. Congratulations on that. You did it in Paris. I was talking to Miguel Gonzalez, who started for the Orioles, and I said, how was your winter? He said, well, I went to Paris. I went to whatever. And I said, you went to the wedding.
It was fun times. It was cold. It was a little cold, but it was awesome. You know, it turned out great. The guys went out there and supported me and, you know, enjoyed the moment with me. And, you know, it was good to have those guys there with me.
Paris is not a bad place to get married, is it?
Oh, no, it's a great place.
How long did you stay? How long did you stay?
I stayed there we're there for about a week.
About a week. Wow. Have you been there before?
I went there once before, that year before.
You got a favorite place or section of the city or anything like that?
Downtown Paris. Favorite restaurant is Rue de la Rouge.
Rue de la Rouge.
It's a steak place.
A steak place. You went to Paris for steak?
Steak and fries. That's all there is.
Steak frites.
No, pommes frites.
It's called frites.
Yeah,
exactly
come on.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all there is in the restaurant. That's funny. We went in there for the first time, and me and my wife, we went in there. We're like, all right, can we see the menu? They bring us a wine menu, and that's all there was there, because everything there is just steak and fries. That's all you get.
And you don't tell the chef how to cook it, do you?
No, they just bring it out. It's good. It's legit.
Manny, congratulations. What a great offseason, and stay healthy, will you?
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Manny Machado joining us here.
Yep.
It's tough going to Paris to get married.
Yeah. And then all your teammates have to go with you.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah. Do what you got to do.
Well, when Miguel Gonzalez was talking about it, I mean, a big smile.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
no kidding.
Yeah, thank God he didn't do it in, I'm not going to trash any cities, but
no.
It was Paris.
And he goes to left field just in time to save both of our jobs.
Yeah.
We go to the bottom half of the eighth inning from Opati. The Orioles have a 5-0 lead. Here tonight and in Sarasota, crowd of 6,078, big house, and a perfect evening to be out to a baseball game. The Orioles have the lead, and Roberto Osuna comes on to pitch.
Yeah, nice little size for him, and boy, I tell you what, it's funny when you sit up here when you see young pitchers, you go, okay, what kind of windup? You're talking about one of the Rule 5 guys we showed you for the Orioles, Jason Garcia. They love his windup and his arm, big-time arm. So this kid, maybe a little bit of recoil right there, but very, very smooth. So we'll see how he does with the Orioles with a 5-0 lead.
He's only 20 years old, had Tommy John surgery, made only 8 starts during the season last year in the minors as he came off the Tommy John. So this is going to be his 4th professional season. San Jose Rios in Cuba was his birthplace, and now resides in Mexico. Anthony Alford has come on to play in center field. And the pitch to Trey Mancini will be taken for a strike. First at bat for Mancini. We have just about used all those who were dressed and available for this game, I think. Certainly feels that way, doesn't it?
Well, it's a big thrill. I imagine you're 20. Yeah. You have Tommy John surgery. The number of guys that have played in the big leagues and come back is about 80%. Guys that come back pitches up in the 90%. But if you hurt your and have to have Tommy John and you have the ligament transplant, I mean, it's up to 80%. So just to have an opportunity to be in the big league camp, even if you're in the minor league and they call you up for one game, it's pretty special.
Sure is.
Certainly can go back to when I had my first call up, made my first camp down in Miami. And then, of course, you're trying not to overthrow.
And if you have a power arm, this kid has it, that's pretty easy to do.
Foul back into the screen. Big cut, mano a mano on that one. Trey Mancini trying to drive it.
Yeah, had a nice swing.
Orioles with home runs. We were talking about it earlier. Can they come close to duplicating the major league lead last year? 211 of them. Well, here in this ball game, that's how they've gotten them all on the board. Did he go? Yes. Check it first. A strikeout swinging.
Pretty nasty breaking ball. Well, it looks like Toronto, if Batista, who had 35, Encarnacion only played 128 games. He had 34. I'm not sure he really swung, but it is 5-0. Let's see. Yep, that did go out there. And then you get Donaldson, who had 29 in one of the bigger parks in baseball. Not that he played all his games. That was in Oakland. They're going to hit some home runs.
Bourbone's first at bat will be a bouncer towards second base. Tollison can't handle. So Bourbon will reach his speed, necessitating a quick play by Tollison, and he couldn't get it cleanly on the first try. And once he missed that, that was it.
Yeah, you come in, and they only have one way to play it. You either try to grab it with your bare hand. I mean, a little high chopper, but look at him get down the line. Right there, trying to catch and transfer it, can't do it. Only have one way to play it if you want to try to get him out. I remember the late Earl Weaver used to say, never, don't rush. But that's one of those plays you have to rush.
Yeah. Ozzie Martinez, quick throw over. We'll get Bourbon back. Ozzie Martinez getting his first at bat in the ball game. Orioles now picked up 8 hits to the 3 put on the board by the Jays. And the pitch will miss inside for a ball.
A pretty typical Oriole offense. 3-run home run, 2-run home run.
Guys they want to see hitting
them
too, boy, with Davis and Jonathan Scope putting the long balls out. 3-run homer for Davis. That came back in the 3rd inning, and then in the 7th, the 2-run homer by Jonathan Scope.
Well, you certainly touched on it. When you go on the road, and John Gibbons, somewhat in jest saying, hey, night game the first week. You didn't bring the A guys, so you do have a little bit of a home field advantage. But for both teams, are your pitchers getting their work? Are you getting your at-bats? Are you having productive at-bats? For John Gibbons, even Buck Showalter, you're getting to see a lot of your young players.
Yeah. Well, he was joking with us when he was on earlier. He's seen 3 games today. The split squad game, and then they had a B game played here at the ballpark this morning. Down to first base, right at him. Haig was covering the bag. They'll make the play. And because there was a runner on that time, it allowed for the double play. Orioles have a 5-0 lead. They need 3 outs, and a W is theirs. We hope you'll be joining us on Tuesday. More action from the Orioles spring training right here on MASN as the Birds going to welcome the Yankees to Ed Smith Stadium. Our coverage on MASN will begin at 1 o'clock Tuesday. Be sure to log on to MASNsports.com all spring long. Daily news, notes from Orioles and their spring training. Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer with you here at Ed Smith Stadium. It's been an Orioles night. Good pitching all the way around. The long blows by the Orioles. Davis and Scope got it done. Now Brad Brock will try and finish it off.
Yeah, check out those numbers. 7-1, highest winning percentage of any American League reliever. ERA, good at 3.18. 93 to 95, power breaking ball, great changeup. Dan Duquette, he acquires him last year in the offseason from San Diego, where he had spent really half the year, 33 appearances at Tucson, 33 with the Padres, and then ends up being a big part of the Orioles. Up and down 3 times, but after, early July, stayed the rest of the year.
So Brad Brock will work here in the top of the 9th inning. First pitch foul back. This is Steve Tollison.
The Orioles certainly know about him. Yeah, he played for the O's. And his dad, a former Major League player, Wayne Tollison.
Orioles have surrendered only 3 hits in the ballgame as Toronto's been held down. Gonzalez, Mattis, O'Day, Britton, Hunter, Givens, Jones, and Brad Brock have done an excellent job here. Only 1 walk surrendered by the Orioles pitchers in the ball game. They have struck out 7, and the 3 hits were all singles bunched around different innings. So the pitching staff has been extremely strong tonight. Stay alert, stay alive.
Well, again, everybody knows what the mantra is. Fastball command, throw strike 1. Dave Wallace, after the 15-2 shellacking, let's see, 7 walks, 4 hit batsmen.
Showalter said nowhere to go but
up.
Down the line and foul.
And it is spring training. And again, it's only an early game. Yeah. Better to do it here in the Ides of March than it is to do it in April, May, or June, July. And
Orioles are going to see these Jays in the first month of play for a couple of series at home and on the road. He lashes that one down the line, and that will fall in. Take a bounce off the top of the wall. Yastrzemski has it rolling around on him. It'll be a double. Tollison is on. He got one to hit, and he didn't miss it.
Yeah, you can bet the ranch when you're late on 93 and you hit it to the opposite field, then you hang a slider, you're going to get the bat a little bit quicker. And Steve doesn't miss it.
The first extra base hit picked up by the Jays tonight. Now Mitch Ney will get the opportunity. This is going to be his first at bat. You see in the minors last year, 60 RBI, solid 278 batting average. As the Jays try and get on the board, trailing by a score of 5-0 here in the 9th inning. 83 wins Toronto last year. The Orioles coming away, of course, with that big 96-win season, in large part because they were an amazing 47-29 in the division for the Orioles, and they'll try and do better. But if you can do the same, you're going to be in pretty good shape with that number.
Yeah, if you take care of your business, Toronto is going to have a good club. I didn't realize that going into early July they were only a half a game back, and that's when Encarnacion went down with the quad. They lost Brett Lowry with a rib injury. Adam Lind, who's no longer with the club. Lowry now, of course, traded to Oakland for Josh Donaldson. They all went down, and then over the next 33 games, they went 16-17, and the Orioles were playing really good games. The thing, Encarnacion hit, 16 home runs in a month of May. Mm-hmm. They went 21-9. So they have some guys, as the Orioles do, that can carry a ball club.
Stay healthy.
Yep.
In the dirt, ball blocked, good play. Joseph, that'll hold the runner at second base. Yankees, of course, who we're going to see next Tuesday. Nobody knows. They don't know. They've got a pitching staff that's questionable as far as physical health is concerned. They've got the A-Rod situation. Can he play? Can he come back? Can he be anything like the A-Rod when he was playing every day? It's been a long time.
Yeah, the only thing they know about A-Rod, they got to pay him $61 million.
Yep.
Whether he can earn it or not is another whole issue.
That'll go to center. Bourbone's got it. Runner will stay at second base. Ney is retired. 1 down here in the 9th inning. Boston should be a better ball club. They're going to be, at least if all stays during the spring, going to be healthier at the start of the year probably than they were. Pedroia's played a season last year in which he was not 100% most of the way. Didn't say much about it. Said he's 100% down, ready to go. Ortiz still looks strong. Pitching staff.
Yeah, Napoli had an operation. He's back healthy. And then again, Hanley Ramirez is going to see if he can play left. Sandoval, can play third. Lester now a Chicago Cub. But they went out. What did they get? Wade Miley. They got Justin Masterson. Yeah, they made
good moves.
Yeah.
Pitch is fouled off. Caught a piece of Joseph that time. This is Alford at the plate. Anthony Alford getting his first at bat with a runner on to second base and one down. I didn't see whether the Wrigley Field renovations are a good deal behind. They had asked the city to provide permission for 24-hour construction work at Wrigley. I'm sure the Wrigleyville residents aren't real happy about that. Strikeout call. Brad Brock gets it, and there are two down.
I'm going to take a look. Quality pitches. Can you make them? Right there, outside corner. Boy, if you can live on that outside edge. Miguel Gonzalez said, I'm not overpowering, I paint. Well, Brad Brock just painted, and that means that little black edge around the plate, you paint the outside corner, and he was able to do it.
Ninth inning, Orioles lead at 5-0. Here's Jake Fox, whom we were talking about earlier. He had the big spring in the home runs, and Joseph takes another one off the body on a foul ball. So Fox up, 2 down, a runner on his second base. Orioles up by a score of 5-0. Have doubled in the hit department, 8-4. And a little smile on Joseph's face.
Well, you could see Jake, and wind blows out here a lot, not tonight, but 10 home runs. Orioles had gotten him out of the Oakland A's organization, where he was a very good pinch hitter. But he was the backup catcher for a while, and again, much better hitter than he was defensively.
0-1 count. Tollison, the runner at second base, and Fox on the big cut, had him way out in front of that one. It's 0-2.
Yeah, that's the changeup, and for a guy that can, throw in the mid-90s, or at least up to the mid-90s, he's got a great. It's almost like a split changeup. The action on it goes down.
0-2 count. Back into the screen. The Orioles trying to win 2 games against their division opponents here in spring training on the same day. 3-2 victory today. Came against Tampa Bay. And now the 5-0 lead against the Jays here tonight. Buck Showalter has had a very long and busy day today, managing both split squad games. Little overthrow by Brock will be taken outside. Ball and 2 strikes. $16 games to be played here in Sarasota this spring of the 34 that are scheduled. Ground ball, that'll go to third base. Play's going to be made at first. And that's the ball game. Dosh gets it over to Mancini, and the Orioles come away with an impressive win. Some outstanding pitching, and as they did so much last year, the long ball mattered. All 5 runs coming on homers. 3 RBIs for Chris Davis. A couple on a Jonathan Stoke home run. The Orioles win it. Final 5-0. Back to Sarasota after this.